My name is Aidan Kearney, known as Turtle Boy.
He is a senior editor for Turtle Boy Daily News.
I'm a big fan.
We've broken hundreds of stories that the mainstream media won't touch.
Some blogger in Massachusetts who's getting to the bottom of this better than anybody.
Why is it Turtle Boy that is covering such important issues? Where is the rest of the media?
You did not say that you were going to take my baby out of her vent and make him a transgender baby.
Stop it.
Don't you want to ask some questions? I know you do.
I do. I have that.
People don't like the things that I say and want me to stop saying them, but I won't. I'm never going to stop. These are the kind of stories that must be told.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chopper be singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
This thing wasn't working, huh? Okay. Rough start. Rough start. Anyway, are we good now? I think we're good now. We can't hear anything. Yeah. No sound seems pretty cool. How many texts am I going to get saying that? Yep. Got them all. No sound muted. Yeah. Okay. No sound. All right. We're good now. We're good. Anyway. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. We do this every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 o'clock, unless I'm in the big house or the slammer or whatever. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. We just passed 50,000 subs, so that's pretty cool. And shout out to all the Rumble rats too. How many people we got on Rumble right now? We got, do we have a lot on Rumble? Oh, it's a smaller audience on Rumble right now. Where are you repping? Okay, no sound on Rumble. Oh, sound is back. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we're on Rumble. We're on YouTube. We got about 3,000 on YouTube right now. That's pretty cool. Go back to the ratchet stuff. I don't know. I feel like we'll see. Anyway, is he out of jail? I mean, I'm right here, so we're good. So anyway, make sure you smash that subscribe button and come here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9. And by the way, if you're new here, my name's Aidan, or you can call me Uncle Turtle Boy. It's what old school turtle riders call me. Some call me Dr. Turtle Boy. It's actually what I really prefer, because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor. The daddy thing, some people did that, but I feel like feel like that's got some bad vibes now. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, can I turn up the sound? Can I turn up the sound? No, I think we're pretty good. Let me know. But anyway, so yeah, be here every Tuesday and Saturday, and we'll be good. So anything else I'm missing? Yeah, make sure you subscribe to all our social media channels, all that fun stuff. If you guys like the program and you want to donate to it, right? You want to help us out, you can click on the link to what else? You can click on the link at the top. Is it pinned to the top? The Turtle Chat? Yes, it is. Click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, and you can donate whatever amount of money you want. And I will read them off as quickly as I can if I get it, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtle Boy, and I'll read those off. We got $5 from Samantha saying hostile until Proctor goes to jail. FKR, shout out to Bubba and Parker. Go to bed. Okay. Erin sends $10, says, glad you're home, Aidan. It's time for KP to go down too. She is single-handedly bringing all these scumbags together to destroy your life and peace of mind. Time to fight fire with fire. She knows to go down in flames. I mean, like I said, trying to just stick to what I'm doing, ignore the negativity as best as possible, cover the Karen Reed case as best I can. And whatever happens to her, happens to her. I do have a witness intimidation criminal complaint hearing with her on March 11th. And that should be interesting. So I'll be in Leominster for that on March 11th, but that's that. Other than that, she's not really part of the show. So $10 from Thomas says, you split any Wigzer, bust any cheeks in Dedham, House of Protection, cunt. Don't know what that means, but okay. Thank you, Thomas. Phil sends $10, says, enough with these bogus charges. Or if you are this violent woman beater, then why does this woman free pass keep showing up to support you? I don't know, man. Personally, I don't know. If I was scared of somebody, I wouldn't go to where they're at, but that's just me. Either way, I feel like giving this person time is counterproductive. So basically, do want to point this out. So yesterday, obviously, went to the hearing and had to leave because she showed up for the first time at a Karen Reed hearing. I talked about this in the story the other day, did a live, and how that works, how the orders work is, you have to leave. I mean, they can effectively go wherever you are and force you out of there. If she comes to my kid's basketball game this weekend, she can do the same thing if she wants to. And I just have to leave. And it's not fair, but it is what it is. It's the system. And, that's what I have a lawyer for. We're working on that. We'll see what happens. But, after yesterday, right? So here's what I need you guys for. So there is an allegation that I yelled. I believe this is what the report says. And I'm not going to spend much time on this. I just wanted, if you were around, I'd like your help disputing this if you were a witness to this. So it says, when Gattani exited Dedham Superior Court, she could hear Kearney yelling from across the street at the Registry of Deeds. So obviously I was on, you guys saw my live stream. I left the premises afterwards. I spoke to a cop and I crossed the street. I asked Gattani, so it says I was yelling. I asked Gattani if Kearney was directing anything towards her, which she informed me, yes, he was yelling and calling me a liar. So that never happened. And if there were all I need from you guys, if you were there yesterday, and you were anywhere in my vicinity across the street there at the Registry of Deeds where I was directed to go, and you witnessed me and, you want to come forward and say what you saw, you're free to reach out to me, email me, turtleboysports@gmail.com. And I will then forward it to my PI or my lawyer or whoever. Because obviously, didn't happen. Obviously, I would not yell something like that at somebody who has an order on me. But if we have any witnesses that can just kind of corroborate that, that would obviously be very helpful. So didn't happen. Like I said, there's videos everywhere. I'm sure anybody, especially if you had a video camera and you were videoing anything like that, like, if my voice wasn't heard on it, then it should be pretty easy to prove that's a lie. And it's unfortunate. It's scary, to be honest with you, that somebody's out there making up lies about you and trying to separate you from your kids again. And, it's hard, you're trying to do your job, and people make it difficult, but I'm not even going to give these people any more time, because when you do that, then they win. So anyway, let's see. Let's see the comments here. Okay, a couple turtle chats to read. So look we're going to get on tonight's show. This is what we're talking about. We got two things on the agenda. Colin Albert was in the house. New information on that I want you guys to get to. And on top of that, we have to get to the Natalie interview, which is just spectacular. We got to listen to the Natalie interview. So we got to talk about that. My prison barber LC is supposed to be calling me. He wants to call into the show. He heard I was talking about him the other night from one of the COs, and he wanted to call. He has trial today. He's awaiting. He's getting his verdict tomorrow. He has his trial. So he's calling into the show at 9:15. So this is my first prison call. We're going to have a first prison call. LC, the barber, Lamarr Carrigan, the barber, is calling into the show. And he's got a beef with Michael Morrissey too. So, I mean, everybody in that jail does, because they're all defendants in Michael Morrissey's system. So exactly. I don't even know the details. Free LC. I don't trust any of these people in there. I don't trust any. $5 cuts. Exactly. You can't beat it. You can't beat the $5 cuts. You can't beat it. All right. Look at all that. Oh, he's going to love that. He's going to love that. So anyway, guys, while I'm waiting for him to call, because it's hard in prison, you got to, if I would call people and if they didn't answer, it's like, you can't call me back. So it's like, you just got to keep calling. It's very difficult. And you're on these goddamn, the phone shut off at 10. So you can't call after 10. They just shut off. And you got to use this, like the tablet. And the hardest part was like getting it in there, and like you'd hear like some static. Oh, I got to adjust it. I can't hear you. I got to adjust. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Like this. That's basically my philosophy. That's basically my philosophy. He cut Turtle Boy's hair. What for $5? What else do you need to know? And there's some woman involved too in his thing, like a crazy woman. And there's almost every guy I met in there's got some crazy woman story. The echo is the worst. Is that where is it a bad echo? Anyway, while I'm waiting for him to call, so he's gonna call in like 2 minutes, and then we're gonna get to the Colin Albert stuff. So let me read a couple turtle chats here. In the meantime, Lisa says, it was a pleasure meeting you yesterday, from your favorite librarian, Lisa Desmond. Lisa Desmond, yeah, she got attacked a couple of years ago for the Dedham Christmas tree thing. She wanted to put up, she's a librarian in Dedham. She wanted to put up a Christmas tree there. And, you know, basically the crazy communists freaked out about it, and it made Fox News and stuff like that. Anyway, next up, that's Lisa. $25 from Jennifer McCabe, or from Mike. Sorry, says Jen McCabe and her phony smile sucks donkey ass. Yeah, it's so creepy, your smile. Donna sends $5. Says, don't forget Turtle Club. Yeah, Turtle Club will be returning this Thursday night, man. This Thursday night. So feel free to tune into that. Next up, Eric sends $10. Says, don't read aloud. Oh. Okay. Thank you for the $10. Okay. $10 from Tom says, Colin Albert is a piece of shit. No argument there. Christine sends the echo on your jail calls. Oh, right. Christine sends $10. Says, I can't wait for this to be over. You and me both, man. I'm good. I mean, this Can't Read story has been career defining, obviously, but I'm good, man. I'm ready to move on to the next story. I mean, I just can't wait for this shit to end. It just needs to end. Laura sends $10. Says, nice to see you out and back at it. Thank you, Laura. Glad to be back. Bob sends $25. Says, TB, message in your contact system in your tip log. I will be busy tomorrow, but available Thursday to talk by phone. Legit 100%. Thank you. Next up, Michael sends $25. Says, glad to see you back. Glad to see you, Michael. Thank you. Kelly sends $50. Says, welcome home, Aidan. We are so glad to see you back doing what you do best. The truth is always going to be on your side, and you're going to own the state of Massachusetts when this is all over. Can't wait for your live show with Brian from LTL, Kelly and Mike. Yeah, that's going to be awesome when we sit down and do an actual live show in person. It's going to be dope. Got a couple cash apps here. All right, hold on. Let's see. Here we got cash apps. Before he calls in. Hopefully he calls soon. You got nothing to do in prison, so let's see. Okay. Frank Rizzo sends $10 and says, LFG, glad to have you back on. Thanks for having me. All right. Crystal Johnson sends $10 and says, we've missed you. Time to take down these losers. Agreed. Jenna Gunn sends 25 and says, thank you for all you do, sending love and support. I appreciate that, Jenna. Sharon sends 25 and says, 100% truth. Good to see you, Turtle Boy. Good to see you too. Okay. Did Unsafe Spaces, he sent this the other night, I guess. I just see $150. He says, Unsafe Spaces live show fundraiser. Oh, thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate that. Great guy. Let's see. And yeah, okay, cool. Paul Ryan actually sent $20 and says, thanks for all you do. Get that Baconator today. Oh, I think that was the other day he sent that. Okay, cool. All right. So again, if anyone else wants to donate, you can click on the top for Turtle Chat. Oh, we got a couple more. Dave sends 10, says, welcome back, Aidan. To her with the McAlberts, Krusty, LG, and Grant. They can all go fuck a cactus. Okay. Sounds painful. Pam sends 25 and says, Twitter had me in a chokehold tonight. So done. Yeah. Ryan sends 10 and I says, I think it was a serious mistake to save Clash with Bow from your minions. You should have let them eject him from ruining your speech. I don't feel like he ruined anything. I have nothing. I don't even know much about that guy. I know he's on YouTube. He's never done anything to me, so I have no issue with him. Linda sends $25, says, I feel so special. I had a visit from 2 state troopers yesterday. Yuri is hot for you. Dude, they have been visiting multiple people. Over the last week or so. If you sent a message to Lizzie Proctor ever, they are going to your door and trying to find out if I put you up to it. Multiple people are trying to do that on their own. So just be, if you did that, please know that. Okay, well, here's my Barbara. I'm going to bring him on now.
This is a free call from...
Please, London.
What? London?
An incarcerated individual at Norfolk County Correctional Center. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
Hello?
Hello?
We're live to tape.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Oh, is this LC?
This is LC calling in the barber.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, we got a lot of people in the comments saying free LC right now. I told them about your case, and you had trial last week. It ended today. And what's going on with that? What are you waiting on the verdict?
I'm waiting on the verdict right now. They out deliberating, and they went out today at 2 o'clock, so they've been deliberating for 2 hours. At 4 o'clock today, the judge dismissed them for the rest of the day. They'll be back tomorrow, Zooming at 9 o'clock to keep deliberating. I'm waiting on a verdict on this situation here.
How do you feel?
Right now, it's real. I feel good, but I don't feel good about the situation because of, the situation with this Norfolk County, how they treating, us fellow inmates that's, being incarcerated for things and accusing us of these situations, of these things that's going on.
Yeah. So I talked to you about your case earlier, and it's my understanding that there is the quote unquote victim in your case. You're being charged with serious crime, attempted murder, right?
Yes.
Yes. And the victim, quote unquote, is a former girlfriend of yours, right?
Yes.
And it's my understanding that she had previously recanted what she said, and then she caught a charge for some serious stuff. And then the Norfolk County DA's office suddenly got her to change her story. Is that right?
Yes. After 15 months of me being incarcerated, they offer her, a deal. If you go and testify against this man here, we'll dismiss the charges that you have here in Quincy District Court.
What were the charges?
In Norfolk County.
What were the charges she had?
The charges she had was possession of a firearm, possession to distribute crack cocaine, possession with intent to distribute crack cocaine, and I believe it was fentanyl.
And okay, so she's a crack dealer with a gun-toting crack dealer.
That's what they say, and that's so.
Yes, and her charges and those serious charges just went away as long as she provided the testimony that they wanted her to give to put you away. Is that right?
Yes, sir. So right now, the charges are still pending to her. Over my knowledge, they are still pending right now out of Quincy District Court. As soon as if I get convicted tomorrow, her charges will be going away approximately within the next week or maybe 2 weeks.
So her deal is contingent upon you being convicted? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I haven't even. This is what the DA is doing out of Norfolk County. They're working together.
Okay.
From it being a lower court, a district court to a superior court, they in cahoots together. And if they can get a conviction off of me, why not throw your case away?
Wow. So okay, so they got to stick up their ass about you, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like they want me for some reason.
Well, so you've done a year and a half in the house, correct?
Yes, I've been here 16 months now. Yes.
And what are you looking at for time if it comes back to if there's a conviction tomorrow? What happens? What are you looking at for time?
Well, to my knowledge, right now they're saying anywhere the plea bargain was if I didn't take it to trial, they was offering me 5 years.
5 to 7. Okay.
Yeah, it was 5 to 7. So maybe if I get convicted on all the charges, now the DA can ask for more time. Who knows? It's going to be up to the judge in the long run.
Squires Lee, right?
Yes, I have Judge Squire Lee. Yes,
she's not bad. She's not bad. So I had somebody sit in on your case the other day. I talked to somebody that sat in there, and it's like it sounds like you got bit by a police dog, and the police even testified that you didn't hit the dog. Something about the dog. So they came in and the dog bit you when they arrested you.
Yeah, the dog chewed up my legs. As in, that's one of the charges they got against me is resisting arrest, and they're trying to say that I actually assaulted the dog. But it's anybody. It's cool to you, myself, or anybody. If a dog is biting you, you're going to be moving your leg in any position to get the dog up off you. Yeah. You don't want nobody the dog to be biting them up. So if they can assist that resistance.
Well, yeah, we know a thing or two about dogs around here in the Kearney case because there's a man, apparently a guy found on the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road had dog bites on him, but the police dogs, if they're not trained how to bite, if dogs aren't trained how to bite, they will clamp down, and if you pull away, they will rip cause lacerations. Did you have lacerations on your body as a result of that, or did you have like puncture marks?
Puncture marks, I have it all.
My
leg is tore up,
Puncture marks, because they were trained police dogs. That's what happens with trained police dogs. So if it was like dog like Chloe, okay, I got it now. Okay, cool. So it sounded like the police even said from people who I talked to that were in your case that the police even said that you weren't aggressive. You didn't basically you didn't attack the dog. The dog bit you and whatever instinct. I don't know what happened.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, the dog came and they attacked. They let the dog attack me when they could have controlled the dog, and they didn't need to use the dog. They really didn't need to use the dog with any force on me, where they could have just put me in handcuffs and took me off the jail. But what they did, they let the dog chew me up and bite me all up on my legs and stuff, so that they can use it as assault to say that I assaulted the dog.
Do you have pictures of it by any chance of he bit you in the leg?
Yes, we have several pictures, and we showed that to the jury. Several pictures of the dog bites on my legs, and like I said, that's one of the charges. That's pending against me too. Is assault and battery on a canine,
right?
Police dog. So.
I'd like to see those pictures. Can we find them on, if we look up your case online, can we find the pictures of your injuries?
They may show. I'm not sure if they're up there now because the trial is going on. They're waiting for the deliberation, but maybe after the case is closed after tomorrow and they come with a verdict, maybe they'll be up there. But I'm not sure right now if they're, are they open for the public?
Okay. I'm gonna look for it right now. See if I can find. Okay. Yeah, there it is. All right. Wow. So So this woman that you were with, she sounds pretty ratchet. It sounds like when they first came in the house, they found her sons are like gangbangers too, correct?
Yes. Sir.
And when they came in the house, what were you saying? What did she say about, like, so they said they found a whole bunch of shit in the house, but it belonged to her son. Is that right?
Yeah, that's from the police report and everything. That's when I wasn't there, so I wasn't there, but I was brought into the allegations of somehow when they raided the house, they came there with a search warrant looking for her son, and they stumbled on other stuff in the house. And when they went to the bedroom, they found stuff in the bedroom, and they found stuff somewhere else inside the house. She concluded to the police officer that was searching the house that anything that you find in this bedroom, it won't belong to me. It will belong to this man.
Okay.
Gave my name and said it will be mine. I wasn't living with her. I'm not on the lease.
Oh.
The apartment, I had no keys to this apartment. She just put me there, basically to save her kids.
Is that Leticia Montero?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because I'm reading the case right now. Okay, gotcha. All right, man. Well, anyway, we just wanted to have you on briefly just to talk about that. So it just seemed like it seems similar. It seems like they get these ratchets basically to testify against you, and suddenly they're basically bringing anybody with no credibility on, because this woman clearly has no credibility. She's a gun-toting crack dealer, and she is essentially trying to save herself by pinning what appears to be other people's property upon you and saying it belonged to you, and then you're taking the fall for it. But and she's incentivized. She previously had taken back what she said, right? Didn't she, like, previously not say this stuff, and then suddenly she changed her story? Is that right?
Yeah. So the case on this case here with the assault case that I have, that's against me with her, is where she took it out. She told the Commonwealth that she, for 15 months, it's going on 16 months now. So for 15 months of this, she hasn't cooperated at all with the Commonwealth. And all of a sudden, after 15 months, they told her, we're going to go to trial with your case here in Quincy District Court. So if you don't plead guilty, if you don't testify on Mr. Carrigan, we're going to take you to trial. And if you lose, you're going to get jail time. You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your housing, Section 8, and this, that, and the other. Yeah. So here I am now. So they told her, hey, you come in here to Norfolk Court, testify against them. We'll go ahead and drop your charges against you on your next court date.
Wow.
I believe she has a next court date coming up in March.
Yeah.
So,
ain't that a bitch?
Ain't it a bitch? And what's crazy? The whole thing is crazy about it, that I've been sitting here in Dedham House of Correction for these 15 going on 16 months, where this lady signed 2 affidavits on my behalf stating that she don't want to testify, she don't want to cooperate. Nobody has forced her or intimidated her to do this. She's doing this on her own will.
Yeah.
And I had one just as recent. I had one affidavit signed recently as January 1st of 2024.
Yeah.
I'm just getting railroaded. I'm getting railroaded all over. I know it got a lot to do with the district attorney's office. They work in the county. They say they're not, but they are. And whatever they can get, we'll let her go because she's small fish, and we'll take him down. They think I'm big fish.
Yeah.
So they want to take me down.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, anyway, man, I gotta get going because we gotta get on with the show. But wish you the best of luck and everything. And you got a commissary, you got a canteen. If people want to donate to your canteen, how can they do that?
It's Secures Tech. It's Lamarr Carrigan.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Lamarr Carrigan, 2 R's in Lamarr and in Carrigan. If anyone wants to hook him up.
Yes, with a C. And
with a C.
My ID number is 22777.
22777. All right. Cool. Sounds good, brother. Well, anyway, I wish you the best of luck tomorrow, and try to get some sleep and enjoy those hard-boiled eggs tomorrow.
don't want to enjoy them, but thank you, and I appreciate it. If I can get any supporters there tomorrow, I will appreciate it. I'm looking for any supporters there at 9 o'clock tomorrow, Dedham Superior Courthouse.
All
Waiting
right.
for the verdict to come out.
All right, man. We'll be
appreciate
watching.
you. Thank you.
We'll talk to you later. Thanks,
All right,
man.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Well, that was a first. So that's interesting. So, anyway, let's see. What the hell? Let's see. 222. Yeah, there you go. That's a first. That's my prison bar. He was nice to me. It's all I know. And quite frankly, with the criminal justice, I don't know who's innocent, who's guilty these days. I wasn't there. I don't know the whole story, but honestly, I just don't trust the Norfolk District Attorney's Office at all, based on what I've seen in the Kearney case and in my case, etc. Okay, cool. All right, so let me talk about some things here. We got to bring something up that we need to talk about in the Karen Reed case. Let's bring it up. No, not that one. Where'd it go? One sec, let me pull it up. Where does it keep leaving me? Where's it going? All right, share screen. You know, I've been out of the game a while here. Where'd it go? It's not sure. Give me one sec. I'll figure this out. Window, entire screen, Chrome tab. No, don't want that. Why does it not fucking share? All right, I have an idea. Give me one sec. Technical difficulties. Let's bring this up. TV Daily News. All right, we're bringing them up now. 1 minute. Just bear with me, folks. No sound? Gaga. Gaga, gaga, gaga. It's not, it's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this computer. Give me 1 sec. All right. So here's a trivia question for some people. Bring it up 1 second. When Michael Proctor interviewed Brian and Nicole Albert afterwards, and they asked them, and by the way, Michael Proctor only interviewed, actually, let me bring this up here. Preview, there we go. It should come up now. There we go. All right. Michael Proctor only interviewed Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert. Those are the only 4 people inside the house that he interviewed. And according to Brian Albert and Nicole Albert, they said their daughter left at 12:15. That was the trivia question. You guys all know that one. Okay. And that's interesting for a couple reasons. Let me pull this up here and show you why. No, present, share screen. Okay. So it says, next I went to, all right, can you read that? It says, next I went to 34 Fairview Road and spoke with the homeowners, Brian and Nicole Albert. Both parties from this point forward will be referred to as their first names. Notice he acts like, oh, I just met these people. Brian stated he had seen the victim at the Waterfall Bar and Grill and spoken to him. He stated that he did not know the party well, but knew that he had a friend of McCabe. Brian and Nicole recalled that the victim had been welcome to come to their house, but he never arrived. When asked about O'Keefe's demeanor or if O'Keefe had any altercations with anyone earlier at the bar, Brian said that he seemed to be fine at the bar. There were no issues whatsoever. Matt McCabe also stated he observed the vehicle pull up into the front of the house, but never saw either party get out of the vehicle. He reiterated he never saw either party get out, but Jennifer says something very different. Matthew also reiterated that what Brian said. O'Keefe seemed to be fine at the bar and that there was really nobody else in the establishment other than their group. Next, I asked Brian and Nicole who else was at the house that night. Aside from the names already mentioned, the following people were present at some point during the time in question: Brian Albert Jr., Caitlin Albert, Julie Nagel, and Brian Higgins. Notice they don't say the name Sarah Levinson. They intentionally leave out her, even though we later find out that she was in the house as well. But they intentionally leave her out. And it's like, so why are they lying? I mean, why not just say everyone who was inside the house? Obviously, they don't say the name Colin Albert, even though he was most definitely inside the house. But again, they don't seem to mind saying that these people were there at some point during the time in question. But there was other people there too. The town administrator's daughter, Catherine Duty, another woman by the name Emily Fabiano. There was a couple more. Mary Kent. There was like a few more people there. None of them are listed. But then they advised me that their daughter, Caitlin, left the house around 12:15 when she was picked up by her brother, Tristan Morris. So why would she say 12:15, right? Why would they say 12:15 that she got out of there? Why is that the magic number? Why did they say Colin got out of there at 12:10 or whatever? That it's always just in the nick of time. They all left when the party started getting started. So Caitlin Albert's at the bar with their parents, and then she comes back to the house. She gets dropped off at the house just to leave. Why didn't Tristan Morris just pick her up at the bar? But so she just gets dropped off there, and she's going to leave at 12:15. Now, they said 12:15 because they know that if she's there, let's say she says she left at 12:45, then they're going to ask her, well, did you see John O'Keefe? If you got out of there before 12:15, you couldn't have seen shit. Even if he was killed by Canton in the car, which obviously he wasn't. But if he was killed if he was killed inside the house, you definitely wouldn't be there either. So they get him out of the house at 12:15. But there's just one issue with that. That was the story that they gave police. However, we know now that Caitlin Albert testified in front of the federal grand jury, according to my sources at Moakley Courthouse, who saw them go in there and testify in front of the grand jury over the summer. I believe it was around July. Shortly after that, she was interviewed by police for the first time. And suddenly, her story changed. Let's see what she says this time. When Caitlin Albert arrived, and this interview takes place, I believe, in August, when they suddenly decide to interview Caitlin Albert, Colin Albert, all these people who got brought in front of the federal grand jury, all of a sudden they start to testify, to interview these people for the very first time. When Caitlin arrived at 34 Fairview Road with her parents, they parked in the driveway and encountered her cousin Colin, who was walking out of the house and getting a ride home from his friend Allie. Isn't that convenient? Oh yeah. Suddenly she saw Colin. But Colin was leaving. She says, okay, sure thing. When Caitlin entered the house, she saw her brother Brian Sr., Sarah Levinson, and Julie Nagel. Shortly after getting to her parents' home, Brian Higgins arrived. Brian Higgins, okay. Caitlin stated prior to, I thought he got there at a different time now. That's odd, because we'll see. Caitlin stated prior to Matt and Jen arriving, her father took their dog out to the backyard so she could use the bathroom, then brought her back upstairs where she remained the rest of the night. Notice what she's doing there. Oh, Chloe didn't. No. Chloe was upstairs all night. Chloe, the dog that disappeared, was upstairs all night. Caitlin stated prior to Matt and Jen arriving, her father took their dog out. Oh, no, let's see. Caitlin recalls that her dad showing Brian Higgins around and thought to herself that he must have never been here before. Caitlin recalled hearing Jen talking on the phone and saying, "Come by, text me when you get here." It was John. Caitlin stated John never entered the house that night and she never saw him. Now here's where it gets interesting. At approximately 1:45 a.m., Caitlin was picked up by Tristan, who left from the waterfall bar earlier in the night. Where did he go? So he's out at the waterfall bar with them, and then he leaves the waterfall bar and just plays taxi with it. Where was he going that night? But all of a sudden, I mean, this is interesting. All of a sudden, Caitlin Albert's inside the house until 1:45. They then returned to their residence in Easton. She stated she was the last person to leave that did not live at her parents' house, except there's just one problem with that sentence. The last person to leave. What time, trivia people, did the McCabes leave the house with Julie Nagel and Sarah Levinson? Anyone know the answer to that? What time did they leave the house with them? Let's see. There it is. It was 1:47 a.m. So how can Caitlin Albert be the last person to leave the house if the rest of them left at 1:47 a.m.? But the key point here, guys, is 1:45. Now, here's a question. Here's a question for you fine people. Why would Caitlin Albert? So they lied. So we know Brian Albert and Nicole Albert definitively lied to the police when they were first interviewed about this in a murder case. They said their daughter left at 12:15. You don't get 12:15 confused with 1:45. And people I said, why would she say 1:45? Why would she put herself inside the house at the time of the murder? They said 12:15, so she didn't have to answer any questions. Now, Caitlin Albert is voluntarily putting herself in a place where a crime occurred, right? So now she opens herself up to all sorts of questioning, like, did you hear anything outside? This is another person now. When her and Tristan Morris, because now Tristan Morris is showing up at 1:45 in the morning. He's showing up at 1:45. That's two more witnesses that were never asked, did you see a dead body on the lawn? Did you see a dead body on the lawn? They didn't have to answer that question if she left at 12:15. But now you do. And neither of them were asked that question. Why would Caitlin Albert voluntarily put herself in a situation like that? She's much better off saying 12:15, right? So what's the answer? Boom. There it is. There it is. Because they got him. They got him, guys. Caitlin Albert voluntarily put herself in the house because more than likely she was confronted with geofence data from the feds at her grand jury. And I'm quite positive her attorney, Greg Henning, told her, if you were in that house at any time, they know it. They know the answer. They know what time you left. They have geofence data. The defense doesn't have geofence data because Michael Proctor never put in the request with Google for iPhone related tracking. Basically, he only did it for people who had Androids, and all these people have iPhones because Androids are disgusting. Okay. So why would she put it like she puts, this is it. I mean, this is a big thing. The fact that she says she's at one, it proves two things. Number one, that they lied, that Brian and Nicole Albert lied to police in a police investigation, right? That Michael Proctor, first of all, never found this, like never questioned this. This person was inside the house and you didn't talk to them for 18 months. And that this woman voluntarily put herself at the crime scene. And to my knowledge, in this interview, they don't even ask her, did you see a dead body outside? They also interviewed Colin Albert and Brian Albert Jr. Oh, wait. Actually, Sarah Levinson has got a different story. You want to see what she had to say? Let's see what Sarah Levinson had to say. Oh, okay. Sarah Levinson. Sarah stated her, Julie, and Matthew and Jennifer McCabe left around 2 a.m. Matthew and Jennifer were driving Sarah and Julie home and the last ones to leave the Albert house. But Caitlin says she was the last one to leave the Albert. How confusing is that? How hard is it to know if you're the last one to leave? How hard is that to know? We got one group of people saying they're the last ones to leave. You got this one saying she's the last one to leave. Can anyone in this story get this whole house get their story straight? No one can. No one can, because they're lying. Because they all witnessed a murder. That's a fact. These people all witnessed a murder and they lied to police about what time they were there. And nobody is grilling them about it. Nobody's asking them questions, right? We got them. And that should be comforting to everyone to know. Don't forget this. The feds know everything. The feds know who killed. The feds have known who killed John O'Keefe a long time ago. They know all that. They're not just going for them. They're going for the state police, man. They're going for Michael Proctor and Yuri Buchanan and Brian Tully. You have to, those guys have to go down. They have to go down. I don't know if the DA people will go down, if Michael Morrissey will just plead stupidity. He's like, well, Alan Jackson did call me stupid, so he might have a point. I don't know. Yeah, and reminder, Sarah Levinson is a nurse. She is a nurse, a registered nurse. And let's see here. Sarah recalled walking out the front door and it was snowing out. Before leaving her house, Sarah stated her mother told her not to wear the shoes because it would be slippery. The McCabe's vehicle was parked in the driveway, and Sarah carefully walked over to it in the snow. She sat in the back seat behind Jennifer, who was in the front side passenger seat. She recalled a random loaf of bread in the back seat, and Jennifer jokingly asked if they wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Ha! It's funny. It's funny. Remember an hour ago when we murdered that guy? You want a PB&J sandwich? Yikes. Yikes. Let's see. Prior to leaving, Sarah stated Matthew went back inside the Albert's house to retrieve his jacket. He pulled out of the driveway and traveled on Fairview Road towards Chapman Street. So Chapman Street would have gone again. Chapman Street is to the south. So that means they got to pull out of the driveway, back out. So they're right here. They're parked right. Actually, you can't see my. Yeah. So they're in the driveway over here and they back out this way. Okay. And then they go this way and they go directly by where the body is over here. And not one of those four people notices a 6'2", 217-pound man who was dying there. Somehow they all just missed that. All of them. Oh, but it was snowing out. Oh, don't you hate? You can't see anything. Don't you hate that, guys? How the fuck do you drive in the snow if you can't see it all? Like, how do you miss a gigantic body right there? Stop it. So that all these people's stories, they all contradict each other. This random loaf of bread. Give me a break. She observed the snow sticking to the ground as they were leaving. That's an interesting detail that she made sure to put in there. She observed the snow sticking to the ground as they were leaving. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, and Brian Albert Jr. was also, I believe he also was grand juried, and he has also spoken with the police. And shockingly, he said basically the same thing that his sister did, that, you know, Brian Higgins was the first to leave. Oh, Brian, actually, he's got a different story. He's got a different story. He says Brian Higgins was the first to leave. Remember, he clocked into work at 1:30, followed by Matt and Jen, who gave Julie and Sarah a ride home around 1:30. So I thought it was 2 o'clock. Brian stated Caitlin was the last to leave. Okay. But, he saw things, by the way. Brian Jr. could not recall any lights or hearing any noises from outside. By the way, why was he not interviewed until 18 months later? Brian Albert was in the house the entire time. Brian Albert Jr. was inside the house the entire time, and police never spoke with him. He slept there that night. And they never spoke with him. Why is that? Why didn't they speak with him? He's an eyewitness, and all of a sudden he's saying he observed, let's see, it was a pretty chill night. Julie had made plans to get picked up by her brother Ryan. While Ryan was out front waiting for Julie, Brian observed another vehicle in front of the house. While Ryan was out waiting for Julie, Brian Jr. observed another vehicle in front of his house. Okay, that's probably Karen, right? Brian Jr. described this vehicle as a dark mid-sized SUV that was stopped out front on the street. The front of the vehicle facing towards Chapman Street. Brian Jr. could not recall any lights or hearing any noises from outside. Any lights? What does that mean? Any noises from... So again, he's another person that just missed this car going in reverse, 24 miles an hour, however the fuck fast it was going, and smashing into this guy and not hearing a goddamn thing. Okay. But what did he see? He stated when he observed the dark SUV, again, it had moved along the street towards the flagpole. He observed snow on the ground at this time because he recalled seeing track imprints. Oh my goodness gracious. These people all see the track imprints. Okay. Brian Jr. stated that Julie went outside and came back after telling Ryan she did not need a ride home. Suddenly changed her story. Other than Julie leaving briefly and returning, no one else entered the house, including John O'Keefe. Brian stated that Brian Higgins was the first to leave, followed by Matt and Jen, who gave Julie and Sarah a ride home around 1:30. So this is very different. This story is very different, guys. I mean, this has to give you confidence, right? In case you were worried about what the feds are doing, this has to give you confidence in it, because the fact that Caitlin Albert voluntarily put herself inside the scene of the crime, and an hour and a half after her parents said that she had left, tells you that they were confronted with something that I'm sure Greg Anning sat them down, and I'm like, you cannot lie to them. They know everything. If you go in there and you start saying, no, I left at 12:15, they're going to get you on that. They already know the answer to that. So, okay. So anybody have any questions or comments we could take on this before we get to the Natalie stuff? Let's see, Brian Albert's evil, the Commonwealth. Let's see. Yeah, I was on Howie Carr yesterday. You guys could check that out. Why was Ryan Nagel's driver not interviewed? I believe he was, and he told a very similar story. I believe all three people in that car told the same story. Yeah, exactly. Olivia Lambo's going to have a field day with that one. Yeah, they can all see the tracks. That's one thing I noticed, but nobody ever sees the body. Interesting. They all do. I mean, they're covering for family members. They're covering for family members. This is what they all do. You think any of Brian's kids admitted to? I don't know what they told the grand jury. I mean, obviously they didn't go in there and be like, yeah, we did it, or else they'd all be arrested, I would assume. If Caitlin admitted to being in the house, but she's still saying John wasn't, what's the question? Was Colin interviewed? Colin has been interviewed by the police. He told them that him and that they're best friends, they're best buds, and Turtle Boy's mean to me. Okay. All right, let me read a couple turtle chats real quick. Got a bunch here to bang through. Let me read some of these. Okay. Jason sends $10 and says, Alabama is with you. Roll Tide and free Karen Reed. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Heather sends $5 and says, you've been missed, doctor. You've been missed. Let's fucking go. Appreciate that, Heather. $31 from Elaine said, I was at the courthouse yesterday, stood next to Jen, Chris, and company outside the courtroom doors, heard and saw what took place. The McAlbert fist pumps, smiles, and high fives shows this was all planned. There's nothing worse than fake victims. Yeah, you know, the McCabe's smile coming in there. I mean, it's just fucking overdoing it. The way she comes in smiling like that. And it's just like some people have suggested that, you know, oh, is she smiling because they think they're going to get away with this? Like their smile makes you feel uncomfortable. So she's smiling because she knew I had to leave. Like that's why she was smiling. Like that's all this came down to. So, and again, it's unfortunate that people abuse the system like that because real victims of domestic violence out there are not believed when that happens. $5 from Turtle says we need a star drive-in party with $5 haircuts and prison chili when LC gets out. Meatball sends $5 and said, did you see Sarah Berkey drive by yesterday screaming? Yes, I did. You could see her Met scabs and smell her teeth from a mile away. Yes, I did, unfortunately. Helen, holy cow. Helen sends $300. Thank you very much, Helen, and says $5 for each day you spent in jail for justice and freedom for us all. Thank you. That's very kind of you, Helen. I appreciate that. Very kind. Joseph sends $10. No comment. Thank you, Joseph. Resistance to Silence sends $25. Says, glad to see you doing. A reminder to everyone, come join us at Meatball Morrissey's office in Canton Thursday at 3. Thursday at 3 in Canton will be a protest of Michael Morrissey. We need to keep our foot on the pedal. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. K-Max sends $25 and says, can you get a restraining order against LG? She is contacting and harassing you by showing up where you are known to be. She is trying to instill fear by threatening your freedom and weaponizing her protection order. I don't know the answer to that question. Certainly, I'm just trying. Like I said, I want nothing to do with this individual at all. I'm certainly not going to go anywhere where she is. But it appears as if she's going to show up to where I am. And if that's the case, you know, I mean, I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's harder to get an order on somebody, but certainly, after you guys have heard the tape, I definitely fear this individual. Don't know what they're capable of. And I want nothing to do with them at all. Like that's all it comes down to. I want nothing at all to do with them. So, and honestly, if I can't, like, I just won't go anymore. I mean, that's fine. I just won't go. If that's what it's going to take, she can go have at it. I'll just watch from home. I mean, it sucks, but is what it is. The law is the law. So, okay. Next. Jen sends $25 and says, did you get pictures of my dog bite? My basset hounds fighting and one got me. I did not, but I'll check later on. $10 from Jane says, Lindsey should be ashamed of herself. It's because of women like her. It's so hard for women like me a long time ago who are actually in danger to be taken seriously. Missed you, Turtle Boy. And that is, unfortunately, a downside to this is that women who are actual victims of domestic violence are not believed, you know, because of stuff like this. It's really sad. So next up. Anonymous sends $10. No comment. And Anonymous sends $20 and says, there goes there. How can 11 people keep a story straight theory? Answer, they can't. That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. Ryan sends $10, says, I think it was a huge misstep to protect Clash with Bow from the turtle mob Karens. Next time, let the minions take out the trash and save your speech. Was my speech ruined? I don't even know what Bow did. I don't even know. But I mean, I didn't even hear him if he was saying stuff like that. So, okay. Next up. All right, let's see. I got some cash apps here. Got to bang through. Okay. And then we'll move on to the other stuff. All right. What was the last one we had? Okay. Jane DiMaggio sends $20 and says, love the bus stop live. Free Karen Reed. Thank you, Jane. Maura sends $10 and says, USMC vet and Army wife from 508 stationed in Georgia, supporting you. Thank you very much, Maura. Laura sends $10 and says, for free LC. Absolutely. Emmy sends $10 and says, Unc, are we there yet? Missed you too, Emmy. I appreciate that. Michael Henderson sends $5 and says, hashtag South Shore Mike. Okay. Carrie sends $10 and says, 508 is where I'm from. TB follower since day one. Thanks. Yes, you are, Carrie. Andrea sends $5 and says, I love Turtle Boy. I appreciate that very much, Andrea. I love you too. Lisa sends $10 and says, let there be justice for all. Good to have you home. Good to be home. Good to be home. Thank you very much. Okay. Anyone else have anything before we get started here? Okay. Oh, we got a couple more turtle chats. Jonathan sends 5 and says, as a man with honor, I would demand my family come clean with serious crimes like this. This society is morally upside down. Yes, you're right. Stephanie sends $15 and says, one thing that confuses me is the photos of the taillight pulling out of John's house. If the bulbs were red, it makes it hard for me to, if the plastic was there. Help me. Yeah, we could do a whole show on the taillight if we wanted to, and we will eventually. I got more shit on the taillight too that no one's seen before, but I'll be saving that. Patricia sends $25 and says, justice for John. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Patricia. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, let's get some likes here. How many likes we got on this? Let's keep them coming. I think that helps a lot. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, what did you guys think of Jen McCabe's smile yesterday? It's just creep. Is she? I mean, it just seems like she's projecting too much. God, these people need to go down. God, these people need to go down. But, you know, they got you. Maybe when she sees Colin Albert's story has changed a little bit. We'll see how they feel about that. We'll see how they feel about that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about, let me bring up this next thing here. Okay. So let's read some interviews, shall we? We have interviews. We got some discovery in my case that was rather interesting that I wanted to read here. We got the interview of Janelle. I read that one. Then we have the interview of, the interview of Jennifer McCabe. Let's pull this one up. And then we got to do the interview of Natalie. This one's in here too. You know who she was mouthing that to. You know who she was mouthing that to. By the way, if anyone else wants to donate, Turtle Chat, link is at the top, or you can do the Cash App $ Uncle Turtle Boy. Okay. So this is Jennifer McCabe's interview on July 24th, 2 days after the rolling rally. And who conducted this interview? Subject name, Aidan Kearney. Okay. I'm the subject. Juvenile. No. Okay. And let's see. She's a white woman. Okay. And Matt McCabe was interviewed too. Okay. So this is a Bukkake interview. All right. So read on July 24th, I contacted Jennifer McCabe and requested an interview as she and her family members have been reporting extreme harassment as a result of false accusations that have been written on internet blogs. So right away, he's saying these are false accusations. Who is he to say that? If you believe that Jennifer McCabe Googled how long did I uncold because she did, because Cellbrite says that she did, the state police are called. Who is he to decide? Is he a juror? Is he a judge? Who is he to determine that that's a false accusation? Like, it's completely inappropriate for him to even use that language in here. False accusations written on internet blogs. It was not a false accusation. Even giving him the benefit of the doubt that it's up for debate, which it's not. You can't call it false. You can't call it false, but they're calling it that. From this point forward, the reference of Turtle Boy should be synonymous with Aidan Kearney. He is the chief editor and content creator on all various platforms. On April 18th, Mr. Kearney began to write and create false alternate theories about what happened to John O'Keefe. So he's like, but first of all, I created nothing. I read court filings. I reported on court filings about what happened to John O'Keefe. These theories were long out there. Colin Albert was subpoenaed by the FBI on April 10th, 2023, right? He cannot call it false. I mean, this is insane. I reviewed the court docs. Jen McCabe is a witness in the case and has provided testimony and factual supporting evidence corroborating her observation. Jennifer McCabe's story has changed like 100 times during this investigation. First, they left at 12:45. Another time they left 12:30, I believe. One time John opened the door. Another time he didn't open the door. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. He's testifying in his police reports. Exactly. As a result of these false theories and content created by Mr. Kearney, his readers, followers, and supporters have engaged in relentless harassment of the adult and juvenile members of the McCabe family. When did anyone here ever harass a juvenile member of the McCabe family? So it's our fault for reporting on what the Celebrite expert Richard Green extracted from Jennifer McCabe's cell phone. We reported that this woman was involved in murdering John O'Keefe because she Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m. And all of a sudden that's a false theory and you guys are all responsible for that. Okay. Jen and Matt McCabe are parents to 4 daughters. One attends an out-of-state college. The second and third are at Canton, blah, 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 blah. Up to today's date, Mr. Kearney has generated hundreds of hours of content on the Canton Coverup on his YouTube channel, Turtle Boy Live, and 87 editions. We're up to like 300 now of web-based text discussing his false theories. He loves to be like false. It's false. Woven into his content is mentions of Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, and accusations of them being part of a cover-up of the John O'Keefe murder, which Karen Reed has been indicted for by a Norfolk County grand jury. As a result of their names being presented in this light and their addresses and personal phone numbers being released by Mr. Kearney, I did not release their personal phone numbers. They are listed in court documents. These existed long before I began reporting on this. As a result of their names, they have constantly been photographed. You can be photographed. It is not the law to photograph anyone. It's not against the law to photograph anyone. Confronted and called all sorts of names. Oh no. Some of them being cop killer, which she is. Whore. I didn't call her a whore. I don't know. You guys, a town busybody. Oh no. Someone called her a town busybody. What did she say? I just tagged you on Twitter. Brian Tully effed up and confirmed Colin Albert was present. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out. And cunt. Oh, no, they called her a cunt. You can't have that. Mr. Kearney has also followed Matt and Jen to different Massachusetts communities and attended their children's sporting events and confronted them in public while recording adversarial reactions. None of that is illegal. The name calling and humiliation generated by Mr. Kearney at her expense was video recorded and broadcasted on Turtle Boy platforms. His readers and followers and supporters have also engaged in harassment by going to McCabe's home, protesting and picketing and disturbing the quiet neighborhood. That's not harassment. We protested for 7 minutes outside of her house when she was at Agunquit Beach. They weren't even home. Mr. Kearney even went as far as video recording inside the McCabe residence. False. I was filming myself knocking on her front door, which for some reason was open during the middle of the day. And then I left. That was it. That was it. You're allowed to knock on people's front doors during the middle of the day. Okay. They said that anyway, Mr. Kearney's example and encouragement for his Turtle Boy army to do the same. I never encouraged anyone to do that. Other witnesses in the case have resulted in these witnesses living in hell simply for cooperating with the investigation and truthfully testifying at the grand jury. Right. That's why people have a problem. Not because Jennifer McCabe Googled how long to die in cold, but because of that. Jen McCabe, while fighting back tears that she is critically concerned. Let's see. Yeah, okay, go. Jen, while fighting back tears, stated that she is critically concerned for the safety and well-being of her children. She stated that the adult children are upset, embarrassed, freaked out, and angry with the whole situation and the lies. Yeah, I mean, then don't murder someone. Don't be involved in a murder cover-up, and your kids won't feel shame. I mean, this is just, they're the victims here. Give me a break. They are being written about, their families are doing to their everyday lives and their daily routines and mental statuses. They're constantly hypervigilant as a result of their family constantly being photographed, followed by strangers, and daily activities written about by Mr. Kearney. Who is, like, you're being photographed? I'm not photographing anyone. Like, people took pictures of them on vacation in Aruba. So what? That's not illegal. Don't kill. I mean, you're allowed to do that. Whenever the family leaves their home, they have to be extremely observant and constantly look over their shoulder for stalkers who follow them and take photographs on vacations in Aruba and most recently in Maine. The children are afraid to be at their own home, stated Jen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. She really cares about the children that she didn't go home to that night. She really cares about them a lot. Two of the McCabe's juvenile daughters, one born in 2007 and the other in 2009, have reported to their parents and school administrators that their Canton classmates have engaged in harassment, bullying, intimidation over social media platforms and in person. This report was taken on July 24th. Do they have school in Canton in July? Okay, so it's somehow it's our fault. It's not Jennifer McCabe's fault for Googling how long to die in cold at 2:27 in the morning and then deleting that Google search and then deleting all of her phone calls and then whispering into the phone at 6:07 and 6:08 to Colin Albert, don't come outside. Or acting extremely suspicious on the 911 call, not alerting the 911 data. None of that. That's our fault. That's not Jennifer McCabe's fault. It's our fault. And somehow, like, we put this out there, we put this factual information out there, which is in court filings. And then the kids allegedly are being picked on in school because of this, which of course we don't, of course you shouldn't do that. But is that actually happening? I mean, if you don't want your kids to get crap from friends, don't murder people. Like, that happens. Like, that shouldn't, like, it's our fault so we can't talk about the fact that Jennifer McCabe was involved in a murder because her kids might get bullied at school. What? This is what they honestly want us to believe. I mean, it's just insane. Olivia wants to come up and talk. Yeah, we can have Olivia up. How can I'll send her a link on, I'm going to send her a link on, give me one sec. I'm going to send her a link on Twitter. Give me one sec. Olivia. Let me see. Oh, no, silly. I was asking for you to ask her. Oh, if she wants to, she can. That'd probably save us a lot of time if she came up and we just did it that way. But okay, where'd my tab go? All right, cool. So there. On several occasions, she found her juvenile daughter crying over what she was seen was sent on TikTok. And that's our fault. Her daughter gets sent something on TikTok, and that's our fault, not hers, for being involved in murder. Additionally, similar emails were also sent to the Canton High School and the Galvin Middle School, sharing the unsubstantiated accusations via links to the Turtleboy content. Somebody sent an email to the middle school and was like, Jennifer McCabe's daughter goes here. You guys are bad. You're a bad school. Can I see that email? I'd like to see that email. The email that was sent to Galvin Middle School. Jen McCabe voiced her crippling frustration over the matter and explained how one of her children had already been diagnosed with a mental condition and there being no end in sight. She is simply scared to go on with her life. I mean, seriously, all these people know how to do is play the victim here. Again, she was involved in the murder, but it's your fault. The backlash that her daughter's getting from this, not Jennifer McCabe's fault. I thank Mr. and Mrs. McCabe for their time and requested that they forward the emails and content which they had readily available to be included in an official report, which they agreed. Please see the attached documents, including some of the emails, social media from Turtle Boy webpage, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, here's the voicemail I left her. Hello, Jennifer. This is award-winning reporter Aidan Kearney calling you from Turtle Boy Daily News. We got your number from the court documents. Wanted to ask you a couple questions. Particularly wanted to know why you're calling a man named Tom Beatty 3 times. I thought that was interesting. Also, I heard that you're still going to lacrosse games, going around town like you're not under serious federal investigation here. Wanted to know why you Googled 227 in the morning, how long to die in snow. I wanted to know what you were thinking around that time. Did that just come to your mind? Was that on your mind all day? You decided to search for it. Wanted to know more about it. Also, okay. It's just like, so I'm asking her questions. Like, I go, I don't know. Give me a call. We'll talk soon. I guess you can't do that. You can't call people and ask them questions. As a follow-up communication, Jen sent the following statement to me regarding her juvenile's daughters and Mr. Kearney's harassment. He repeatedly keeps showing the pictures of Proctor at a cookout and claiming my kids are in the pics. It isn't them. And then the images of Olivia at her first communion. Okay. So it's our fault. It's our fault that picture of Michael Proctor and the McCabe girls that's put into court filings that we shared that's on there. Okay. That's our fault. Some. All right. Anyway. So there's that. I think we have one of Colin Albert here. What's this interview? Oh, you got it. Yuri Bukkake, I think, interviews himself too. Oh, here's the Colin Albert interview. I contacted Colin Albert and requested an interview that he and his family members have been reporting extreme harassment as a result of false accusations written on internet blogs, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. False reports. Okay. As a result of these false theories, in content, his readers have engaged in relentless harassment of the Albert family. Okay. Okay. Up to this date, he's generated blah, 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 blah. Okay. False theories, false accusations. Okay. How about this? As a result of Colin, Chris, and Julie's names being presented in this light and their addresses and personal phone numbers being released by Mr. Kearney, they've been constantly photographed, confronted, and called such names as pussy ass fucking faggot, murderer, bald fuck. What, like, did I miss Colin Albert being confronted? I've never seen anyone confront Colin Albert. He's kind of disappeared in all this. But fraud, can't call Chris Albert a fraud, a loser. The people that go around calling everyone a loser are upset that they're being called losers. I mean, is this real? And bitch, oh no. He traveled to Canton on numerous occasions and confronted Chris Albert and had adversarial interactions on video. The name calling and humiliation generated at Albert's expense was video recorded and broadcasted on his Turtle Boy platforms. Oh no. And then the whole out of context stuff about life is normal, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Colin Albert told me he first learned about the murder the morning after, since he was not present at his uncle's home when John O'Keefe arrived. Notice he has no evidence of that. Wasn't there. I found out the next morning. Oh, sure he did. On April 17th, Turtle Boy authored a false tweet accusing Colin of being responsible for the murder and engaging with John O'Keefe in a physical interaction. He stated he was shocked and in disbelief as he read the tweet, which was shared to him by friends at around midnight. He went on to say that Mr. Kearney's blogs and anything and everything he can make up about him and his family members to smear their names and encourage his readers, followers, and supporters to harass them. Colin's school and coach have been contacted over the matter to those that believe Mr. Kearney's lies in an attempt to disrupt and ruin Colin's life. They're ruining his life. Yeah. Colin went on to say Mr. Kearney constantly posts nonsense about him and his family with photographs of him and his friends, which Colin does not understand how Mr. Kearney got a hold of. It's called Visco. It's called, like, you posted all these pictures online. Where'd you get all these pictures of me? You guys post them online. It's somehow our fault. I post nonsense. Okay. All of the harassment and imitation has made Colin sad, scared, and super paranoid. He has to be hyper vigilant when he's out in public, traveling to his father's business location. He fears harm, and he fears physical harm from complete strangers. The kid, bang, bang, the kid that goes around saying, you know, threatening to kill the Advantage boys is scared. Okay. He's really scared. Really scared. The video from that incident was later posted by Mr. Kearney on his platform. So when I went to Chris Albert's business and I got kicked out of there in like 5 seconds, he goes, "You're a loser. You're going to get it." Okay. Since Mr. Kearney leaked Colin's personal phone number, he has been receiving prank calls and constantly harassed by Turtle Boy readers, followers, and supporters. Oh, no, but I'd never get prank phone calls. No. Turtle Boy readers and followers and call him names and communicate threats of retribution for something that Colin has nothing to do with. Nothing. Due to the constant barrage of harassment and intimidation on social media, he was forced to shut down his accounts and leave it all behind. Oh, the drama. He was forced to shut down. Guys, he had to shut down his Twitter account and leave it all behind. I mean, seriously, leave it all behind. It gets better. Colin fears people stalking him, right? I thank Colin for his time and requested that him and his father. This is the first time, by the way, Colin was ever interviewed by police. Notice they don't, like, what day is this? This is on 7/29/23. It's the first time he's ever interviewed by police. Notice they don't ask him, like, were you in the house? Like, can you tell us about what happened that night? He's like, the entire interview of Colin Albert isn't about, like, where were you the night John O'Keefe was killed? It was, tell me about your feelings, young man. Are Turtle Riders being mean to you over these false theories? What can we charge them with? Yikes. I thanked him for his time, requested that him and his father forward the content, which they did have readily available to be included in an official report. Please see the attached document. It should also be noted that although parts 25 and 72 are included with this report, most of Mr. Kearney's articles and YouTube shows contain repeated mention of the Alberts being responsible for the murder and accusations of them being part of the fictional cover-up as well. The fictional cover-up, which we've accused Yuri Bukkake of being part of, is now fictional because the guy we're accusing of setting them up says so. Chris Albert also forwarded recorded voicemails that were left on his wife's, and Colin's phone from Mr. Kearney. Okay. Do we have the part about whatchamacallit? They said they ordered like pizzas. He said that there was 500. There's something in here. He said 500 pizzas a day. I'm almost positive they said that he gets 500 false calls every day for pizzas. Did I miss that part? I don't know if I missed that part. We'll see. Okay. Next up. Well, actually, let me see this. This person might have it. 50 times. Search for 50. Can I search for 50? All right. How does this work? Will it come up if I search 50? Am I in the wrong document? I don't know. Anyway, got a lot of docs here. And then they have the whole report from our house about when he came to my house. He got the search warrants. I explained the search warrants for his house. He was placed in the career. Okay. Okay. So that's my arrest report. Okay. Took all my iPhones. Okay. The Natalie interview we're going to get to. We got to read the whole interview. Oh, how about this? Aidan Kearney following Bukkake to his cruiser while calling him names using profanity. Okay. And it says here, on Friday, September 15th, I attended the Norfolk Superior Court's motion session, blah, 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 blah. Upon my arrival on foot at the base of the courthouse steps, Mr. Kearney directed the crowd's attention to my presence over his bullhorn. Correct. At the conclusion of the court's business, as it related to the O'Keefe homicide, court attendees began to leave. I myself exited the courthouse through the front doors and left the courthouse, proceeding across the street to the sidewalk adjacent to the Registry of Deeds. At this point, Mr. Kearney approached me on the sidewalk as I was walking to my state police cruiser. Mr. Kearney was utilizing a bullhorn and video recording, all legal, when he asked me a myriad of questions in regards to the O'Keefe homicide investigation and subsequent alleged investigations into Mr. Kearney himself. Specifically, I just asked him about the Ford Edge and if he's found who was driving that. Mr. Kearney and a small crowd of people holding signs as well as screen-printed clothing items followed me all the way to my cruiser. As Mr. Kearney video recorded his barrage of questions, insults, which was finished off by him calling me names and profanity-laced language. He called him a Bukkake loser in particular, a Bukkake loser. All legal. You're allowed to call cops Bukkake losers. You're definitely allowed to do that. I entered my cruiser, look at this lie, and left the area without interacting or responding with Mr. Kearney. He gave us all the middle finger. He gave us all the middle finger. It's undeniable. Not screen printed shirts. Oh no, not a screen printed shirt. Oh dear Lord, that said Free Karen Reed on it. No, he didn't. He forgot to mention that he gave everyone the finger on his way out. Funny. I guess that would make him look like a little less than a victim. Okay. Janelle Webb, we'll do that one. Okay, and this is the night when I was in question. So this is, I found out, I mean, this is just a bunch of lies in here. We'll go over all this another time. Something about, like, she accuses Richie. So this is on December 14th. They interview her for the first time. This is like 3 or 4 days after it's like basically ended. And it's like, I'm just going to go to the state police and I'm going to tell them whatever and start working with them. And yeah, we can show this another time. He's doing well with donations. He had alluded to the fact that he did not pay for a Lexus. So this is what the police were told, that I did not pay for my Lexus. A completely untrue thing. A completely untrue thing. Yeah. Page 12. Okay. I'll go to page 12 in a minute. What else are we saying here? That he made a statement, blah, blah, blah. Okay. He stated, she stated that she believed the Lexus was purchased from a dealership in Rhode Island. She knew goddamn well where the car was purchased from, because one day I got it, because it was purchased in Northborough, and I had made a joke to her that you never heard of Northborough before? It's in Central Mass. And I actually got a change there. Northborough is closer to Medfield, so I went there one day to get my car, and they give you like a loaner, and I went to her place. Okay, so she knew this is obviously a lie. She stated he never pays his taxes. I mean, this is just completely made up. Completely made up. And then she goes on about the Roccos. Okay, Lindsey stated Kearney was frustrated by comments on social media that people thought he did not want more protests in Canton. He stated to her that he wanted people to protest. She stated that the 9 people recently charged with witness intimidation were directed by Kearney. A complete lie. A complete lie. Maybe the Roccos can answer that for me, or any of those people. I did not direct anyone to do this. I didn't even know it was happening. It was a pleasant surprise when I saw it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Other people are protesting. Good for them. People have a right to protest. I certainly didn't tell anyone to do it. She said she stated, so a person who has a personal grudge and didn't like the way a relationship ended is telling police a couple days after the relationship ended that I instructed this group to go to D&E because I could not go. Completely untrue. I didn't even know who a lot of these people were at the time. It was good that additional people were charged with witness intimidation because it took the heat off him. This is all made up. And that he would not raise any funds for their defense. I did raise funds for their defense. I know Robin was one of the Canton 9. Did I ever tell you to protest? No, this is all a lie. All this person does is just lie to try to get me in jail. It's insane. She stated that she was told by Kearney's attorneys were working with the U.S. Attorney's Office, which was common knowledge. That, let's see, all this stuff, all this nonsense. Oh, when she stated following a court date that she met him at Fusion in Dedham Square. Present was Tim Bradel and Richie. During the conversation, they discussed Kearney's cell phones that were seized by investigators. Asked what would happen if he had an illegal recording. Oh, right. None of this happened. Richie was there too. None of this happened. We have witnesses. She asked Bradel why he agreed to represent Kearney. And he wanted to defend the First Amendment. Correct. Bradel went on to say that he was recently at a courthouse and ran into a buddy who was an attorney. The buddy told Bradel that evidence exists that proves Karen Reed is 100% guilty, but the evidence is inadmissible in court. He said that there was some guy who we called a ham and egger the other day that he met at court, aka a mediocre attorney, that told him that, you'll see the truth. There'll be more evidence that comes out in court. She's guilty. That's all he said. And this has since been taken. This story that she heard has since been obviously told to them. And they're saying, well, Tim Bradel told you that this never happened. Tim Bradel told you this never. No, Tim Bradel said that some guy, a ham and egger at the courthouse, said that Karen Reed is guilty. And there's going to be evidence coming about that. That's it. It's just all a lie. What else we got here? Kearney also discussed an upcoming rally in Canton on December 18th. She stated the rally is being organized by a woman with the first name Deanna, who is close to Kearney. Except Deanna did not organize the protest on December 18th. She wasn't even there. That was organized by Paul Cristoforo, Tracy, and Dana. When Kearney learned that Deanna had met with Canton Police Chief Helena Rafferty, he became mad. That never happened. She never met with them. And then this part about that he might flee the area. He mentioned he has lots of cash and would throw his phone away. I'm going to disappear. Look, I was not going to disappear. Look, I'm going to be perfectly candid with you, right? Because of all this stuff that was going on, right? I was dealing with like a severe mental health crisis in November because I thought that I was told a lie about being pregnant. And I'm just like, my life is like, what am I going to do? Like, what is like, I can't even tell you where my head was at. And I wanted to disappear. You ever have that feeling where you just want to disappear and you're having just extreme depression? Like that's what I was going through on top of the indictments going on. And I can't even tell you the kind of mental health situation I was dealing with in November as a result of that, which turned out to be a lie. And as a result, I've definitely made statements that like, I wish I could just disappear. I wish I could just go away, drive, and never return, or just disappear off the face of the earth. I wish, like, it was horrible. And it was all caused by a lie. None of this was real. So any statement I made about that, wanting to disappear, because I just wish I would, honestly, when you wish that you could just stop it, you ever have that feeling? Where you just wish that you could just disappear. Like you don't have, like you just wish you could die, That's the way it felt. And I confided that in this person. And I told her my feelings about this. And she knew goddamn, and it was largely as a result of this fake baby. At any point she could have said, nope, not pregnant. Don't worry. you know, but she enjoyed watching what it was doing to me, quite frankly. She enjoyed watching what it was doing to me, and now is using it against me to make it seem like I'm some sort of flight risk. So there's that. There's that. But anyway, yeah. And then how about this? This was the night in question. So again, I was lured over to the house with a fake grand jury summons. Okay. And she told me that she wanted me to come over to look at her text messages. Like that, she goes like, I can't send screenshots because, you know, I just don't, you come over. She basically was insistent on me coming over. So I did. And it turns out, though, I thought previously that I was, that at 3 o'clock, that this lie was made up about me. I thought it happened because I didn't sleep over. I thought she was mad about that. But as it turns out, the whole night was a setup, as we see from this December 23rd interview, you know, but, yeah, anyway, yeah, basically here, this is the part I just want to show. On December 23rd at 10:30, I received a call from Ken Mello. He stated he received a call from her who told him that Aidan Kearney was at her apartment. He then forwarded the call to me. During the call, I couldn't understand anything. So I was there talking to her in the main lobby, and she called Ken Mello, who then forwarded the phone call to Brian Tully, who listened in on the conversation, which sounds like wiretapping. I don't know, but he couldn't understand it because the voices were muffled. After several minutes, the call was ended. Okay. At 10:48, she sent me the following text message. While I'm there, is messaging with these people. Ken said to call you, but I can't now. He's knocking on the bathroom door. I have to go back out. Please don't call or text because he wants to see my phone. I'm deleting all our calls and texts now. Please don't respond until you hear from me, please. So there you go. The whole thing was a setup. The whole time they were talking and listening in on our conversation. I mean, that seems to be like a police confession to wiretapping right there. But that's what happened to me. That was my last night as a free person. But anyway, let's talk about Natalie. All right. So the Natalie interview is even better. Oh, actually, we got a Chicken Parm Charlie. I got to go to page 12 of this, the part about Chicken Parm Charlie. All right. Where to go? Page 12. Do these things have, page 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. 7, 10, 11, 12. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I didn't even notice this. Look at this. How did I miss this part? Mr. Kearney's readers and followers have engaged in harassment by placing over 50 false orders per day. 50 false orders? 50, like, are you kidding me? 50 false orders. Insane. Insane. Okay, sure. Right. Does anybody believe that? Why would you keep taking the orders? Why would you keep taking the orders if you got 50 false orders a day? It's just a lie. All these people do is lie, man. Lie. All right. So, the Natalie interview. I got to bring up that now. This, wait till you guys see this, Jim. Yeah, that one. Give me 1 second to find this one. Contacts. Where'd it go? Is this the one? No, not that one. Give me 1 sec. No, not that one. No, not that one. I think it's in my Google Drive. Hold on. I got it somewhere here. Messages. All right, give me 1 second. It's in my Google Drive. I'll find it. Google Drive. Shared drives. No. My Drive. Home. All right. One sec. I'm going to find it, I promise. People that have it. Let's see. She just emailed it. Okay, I'll check my email. Hold on. I didn't get the email yet. I'll check it. Oh, here it is. There we go. Okay, found it. All right, so here's the transcript of the Natalie interview. And I think it's coming up now. There it is. Okay, cool. Let me pull this up. Now, but you got to get the audio. I'm going to pull the audio up too. I have that. Give me one sec. Can you send the audio too? Hold on. All right, let me share this. So, Brian Tully and Nelson Digavaya, right, they flew all the way to California. Okay, they're going to send it to me. Awesome. That'd be cool. All right. They flew all the way to California to interview someone named Natalie the German, on October 15th. They couldn't do a Zoom call. They couldn't, pick up the phone and call her. They had to fly to California on the taxpayer's dime for this. So this is how many page document? This goes on and on and on. Okay. Can I zoom in here? Let's go to 150%. Can I get rid of this part over here? Whatever. Okay. All right. So he goes, I know we've kind of already spoken, and for the purpose of recording and for Nelson what's your relationship with Karen Reed? Just look how long this shit is. So we went to Bentley College. It was college when we went from 1998. I went from 1998 to 2002, and Karen graduated in 2001, a year early because she was very smart and very studious and got all her credits early. But then she stayed at Bentley and got her master's, I guess, in finance. I was not friends with her per se. I was not friends with her. We didn't really know each other on campus, but we knew each other, but we hung out with the same sorority sisters, even though we weren't. We were both not in the same sorority, and we went to the same frat parties, and that was it. And then, of course, I could see her at the library. She studied a lot. She was in the library a lot. When everything came around in February 22, some friends from college were texting me oh my God, did you read this? And when I read it, I was like, oh my God, poor thing. This is an accident. She was drunk and hit him. So I reached out to her on Facebook. I would say I don't know the exact date, but I reached out to her and I have the message saved, but I don't have the message saved, but I wrote to her something along the lines of, don't blame yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Mistakes happen. Keep yourself, And she wrote back something along the lines, oh my God, Nat, can we talk? So we spoke on the phone. I gave her my number. We spoke on the phone, and this was a setup. I didn't do this. And she told me, do you know that the morning she was so confused, could I have hit him? Did I have maybe a clip him? Was he running after his car, and did I hit him without knowing? And then eventually she told me that a fellow by the name of Scanlon came into United's office a few days after he was arrested, and was she didn't hit anyone. A fight broke out in that house. And so from there, the pieces started coming together from her private investigators. And because I'm so far away in Los Angeles, I was kind of in her diary. So I would say 30% of our relationship was about her case, and 70% was friendly stuff. But she would paint her guest room and say, what do you think this wall color? What the fuck is wall color? Or do you like this side table? Or I would cook dinner and send her pictures of what I just cooked. And she would do the same. And then she'd say, oh, my parents are over for dinner. And she would take a picture of my parents and say, aren't my parents adorable? And said, why is she talking? Oh my God. Oh my, do we have the audio of this one? If you could, my team there, if you guys could send me the audio. I know I have it somewhere, but I don't know how to. Oh, wait, actually, is this it? I think I might have it. Can I file open? Nope. File open. Actually, I think I have them saved over here. What did it just say? It's coming. Stand by. Okay, cool. I think I downloaded it, but I have it somewhere. Give me a minute. I'll find it. downloads. Let's see. Just resent. Let me see if I got it. Nanette audio. Here it is. Okay, cool. Open with. Can you guys hear this? So Gina Berschneider.
We're starting on October 17th, 2023 at 12:41. We are here at Gardena, California.
They're going to fast forward a
And
little
then
bit.
she wrote back something along the lines like, "Oh my God, Nat, can we talk?"
All right.
So
We're going to follow along here.
we spoke on the phone. I gave her my number, and we spoke on the phone. And she said, "You know, this was a setup. I didn't do this."
Oh, you can't hear?
And she's told me that
Okay, you can hear it now?
you know, that morning she was so confused. Like, could I have hit him? Like, did I maybe clip him? Was he running after my car? And did I hit 22 November? And I would send her screenshots, and I would be like, "What's this lady's problem? She's so adamant. Like, it just doesn't stop."
Okay,
And
hold on. I
Karen
want to
was like,
rewind this.
"Natalie,
You got to
I
hear the
wish
part of
you
the
would-"
fig trees.
And then other innocent things like I have these indoor fig trees. They're elephant ear trees, they're called. And I would do before and after photos
It was
where my tree would be dusty. I would take a before.
She called it a funky fresh app. It's a funky fresh app she would text me on and say, "Hey, you want to jump on this funky fresh app?" And she would talk about her fig trees. Okay. Like, why is she telling? They
photo,
flew all the way to
and then I would
California to hear
spray
this.
it, and I would wipe down all the leaves, and I would trim any of like the dead leaves, and then I would send her after photos. So a lot of our friendship was like that. And then she got upset with me once because in the beginning, I didn't know who was who. There were so many names, and like, I really didn't know who was who, but I noticed that there was a woman who we all know now by the name of Elizabeth Proctor. And she would always do laughing emojis on all of the news, the Boston news sites. And this is before Aidan. This is September 2022, October 2022, November. And
oh my God. Okay. So
I would send her screenshots into October, and we would, make jokes like that she's a little bit too brazen or whatever. And then then the next day she was like, "Actually, all those screenshots you sent me yesterday, something along the lines of that, actually in a PDF in order." So I did that. And so I put them on a PDF. So all he has to do is open up one thing and they're all there. And so that was like one time she snapped at me. And then I noticed a lady by the name of Jen Altman, and she was the only one standing up for Karen.
She's the only one.
And I would laugh with Karen because for months
we had
our eye on her, and we would laugh. And I would say, "She's like the white female Tupac Shakur, so outspoken cheerleader." And I was like, "Karen, do you know her?" And she's like, "I have no."
She's the white female Tupac Shakur. Like, really? Like, okay. I thought that was hilarious. Jennifer Altman, you are the white female Tupac Shakur.
No idea who she is. And I was like, "Well, she's the only one standing up for you." So like, we were watching her and we would laugh, and we would,
she goes on.
make
Look at
jokes
Brian
like
Tully.
that she's a little bit too brazen or whatever. And we decided, like, I said to Karen, I said, "Do you mind?"
Then she goes on, right? And she's like talking about, And I said, I got this approval from Karen, and Karen told me what to send. So I said, I want to thank you for standing up for Karen. She's a friend of mine from college. And then I sent her pictures of Proctor with those kids because Karen said, send that. And then I wrote this is the lead detective. Elizabeth Proctor's his wife. My guess is a fight broke out in the house. They beat the shit out of him and went too far. In the autopsy photos, it was obvious he was beat up so badly by the homeowners. It's like Natalie during this entire time is like confirming that, like, oh yeah, this is you. That motherfucker was murdered inside the house. Like she basically says in this interview that Karen's innocent. And then she goes on to say, and did Jen contact anybody after this? Like, what are they investigating right now? What are they investigating? Yes. Okay. So you don't want me to keep reading or no? But you're going to tell me what kind of happened next in your situation? Yeah. Next with Jen Altman. Why the fuck did Brian Tully fly to fucking California to talk about the white female Tupac Shakur, Jennifer Altman? Why? And then I wrote Altman, okay? And I'm assuming her best friend, John Silvera, who she went to either middle school or elementary school with or high school with junior, but she's known him before college. And she said, let me ask my brother. And then she called me back and said that they said that Aidan would be a good person to tell her. So this is how Karen found out. Karen didn't really know who Turtle Boy was, I guess. She said, I wrote to Altman and said, thank you for putting us in touch. Let me ask Karen for her blessings. Okay. Because so Jennifer contacted her, Natalie, and said, this guy Aidan writes a blog or a website. Get in touch with him. I understand there's been some coverage, but this should be the biggest story in the news and Karen should be immediately exonerated. So then I didn't reply because it's not my territory. So I called Karen and I read her this and she said, let me talk to my brother and my best friend, John Silvera. But she's known him before college. But she said, let me ask my brother. And she called me back and said, they said that Aidan would be a good person to tell her side of the story because the mainstream media has painted her as a cop killer and they're not giving like Brian Albert's name, the homeowner's name, and all the other facts she wants out. Probably till he's like, So basically they're like, what is the scandal here? Natalie talked to Karen. Natalie talked to Jennifer Altman, who talked to me. And then Natalie talks to Karen, and Karen is like, oh, yeah, everybody says that he would be a good person to write this story because he's going to get the truth out that the Boston Globe's not reporting. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. And she circled Jen McCabe's face, and I wrote, Jen McCabe is the top left brunette in the jeans jacket. And then I wrote, Altman, I'll call you on my way home. And then Aidan writes, what is this from? Then I replied, the Boston Globe. And he wrote, thank you. And then I wrote, oh my God. Okay. And then I replied, I'll text you later in the court motion for April 12th. And where is that messaging? Is that Facebook Messenger? Okay. Facebook Messenger. Great question, Brian. Great question. And it's a 3-way conversation with you, Karen and Kearney. Karen is not on it. Okay. Karen is on Signal. Or Karen's calling me. Got it. Like what? And I would read Karen like on speakerphone. I would read what they're saying. And she would say, but Karen was directing you kind of like what? Shut up. Nelson D. Gavia. Why is he even there? Why is he Nelson D. Gavia is Ken Mello's private investigator. Why does Ken Mello have why are we paying for this guy to go there too? To interview this woman? I don't know what were they hoping to accomplish here? Like seriously, what are they hoping to accomplish? This fucking fly is pissing me off. I never stepped out of bounds because I didn't want to jeopardize anything. Okay, but pay attention to, this page, paragraph, stuff like that. And this arrangement for telling her you to sense, how long did it happen? Yeah, so that continued. Okay. This is the good part where he starts terrible. She doesn't like the fact that I use the word cunts, and she gets really upset about this. Let me find this.
So Jennifer wrote to me. I actually have a screenshot of it, so that's actually good. But she wrote to me something along the lines of, hi, and I saw photos on their Facebooks. Just wait, guys. Major news coming very soon. And Aidan wrote, I'd be very happy to break this. I run Turtle Boy Daily News. And then Karen sends me McCabe did not kill him on her own. And it sounds like O'Keefe and Albert barely knew each other. And then I wrote, they didn't know each other. McCabe and O'Keefe are good friends. And then Aidan wrote, what would be the motive? What would the motive be? He was there 15 minutes before he died. And then they got the dog to bite him, ? And I wrote, Clarence, give me your cell number. And then he gives me the 413-262-6909. And then I replied, I'll text you the latest court motion from 14th. The day before, I guess, he did his first blog, which I read Karen, like on speakerphone, I would read what they're saying. And then she would say.
But Karen was directing you.
Yes, because what do I know? All I know is about sofas. You know, like I don't. And there were so many names involved that I didn't
she only
know
knows sofas.
Who I kept thinking Michael Proctor was the homeowner, and she would always correct me and say like, no, he's the worst one of them all, you know. And so it was very confusing for me. And
so
I think
basically Natalie is saying here that my job was to pass messages from one person to another, but I don't know what the fuck's going on here because I just sell sofas for a living because I, you know, have my mother's business here. Okay.
I didn't grasp who everybody was until probably April or May or March of 2023. So it took me a long time to get who all these people were.
Listen to Tully's
These
question.
photos he's sharing with Turtle Boy, where were they coming from?
From Karen.
She was in real time. She was sending them to
In
you?
real time, yes.
Yes. So, and I never went out. I never stepped out of bounds and took it upon myself to send stuff because I didn't want to jeopardize anything for her. So everything came from her like, okay, send this, send that. This motion is now public. He can now use this motion on his blog, but pay attention to, you know, this page, this paragraph, stuff like that.
And this arrangement of her telling you to send stuff to Turtle Boy, how long did that
Oh my
happen? Or
God.
did that continue
forbid.
after April 17th?
God forbid. factual
Yeah. So
information
then
gets leaked.
that continued from about April 17th. And then about the end of May, they started getting in an argument between me and I'm copying, pasting. And Turtle calls me and texts me and says, you know, you girls are a bunch of cunts.
I never said
you
that.
You guys are jerking me around. I don't like being jerked around like this.
What?
You know, and Karen said, fuck it. I'm gonna have Aidan call me on Signal. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to say the F word. And she said, have him call me on.
It's like, okay. Like, I was annoyed, but I'm like, dude, I'm like trying to get shit. And like, we're doing this Natalie's copy and pasting shit. And every time I asked Natalie a question, she didn't know the answer because she didn't know shit because she just knows sofas. And so I'm like, can we stop with the fucking intermediary here? Can I just talk to this woman? I've never talked to Karen Reed before. And that's how we started talking. I'm like, can you stop jerking my chain? Let's go. This is really annoying.
Signal. So I gave it to Turtle, her phone number. I said, call her on Signal. I said, I'm going to go give my little girl a bath. I go in the bathtub with my little girl. We get out, I would say about 45 minutes later, we put our PJs on.
Why do we need to know this?
And I come back to my phone and I have all these missed calls and missed text messages. And I call Aidan. I said, what happened? He goes, you know, you girls, you're playing games with me. You're jerking me around. You know, I'm the one that brought this story out. And, you know, I'm waiting by the phone and Karen doesn't even call me. So I call Karen. I said, Karen, why didn't you call him? And she goes, Natalie, I'm so scared. I said, why are you scared? And she goes, I don't know. I'm just so scared. I said, Karen, he proved himself by now. He's done blogs. Like, he's been so loyal the past month. Like, you owe it to him now to just talk to him. So from that, so then she was like, fine. So she summons the courage to call him. And so she called him. And ever since then, they just pushed me out of the picture.
There it is.
And and we're communicating directly.
And there goes, and that's how Natalie, that is the beginning of how Natalie became the star witness for the freaking prosecution. She was cut off after Karen and I realized that we could just talk on Signal together and we didn't need this sofa expert sending messages back and forth. She was cut out and she felt left out and jilted by that. You don't respect her.
And how do you know that?
Because they stopped including me and stuff.
How do you know they're communicating without you? Did anyone
That's
tell you
just
that,
me putting 1 + 1 = 2.
Got it.
And also, she stopped texting me every 7 to Aidan. You know, in the meantime, you got to cut out the words retard, faggot, and cunts.
Because she told me to stop saying those words.
You got to chill with this love for Trump. Because if you want to tango with Hollywood and your dream is to be famous and have a documentary, and I said maybe it would be a good idea to do a show and say like, hey, guys, I was wrong with my vocabulary. Let me change my ways and turn a new leaf. And he didn't listen to me. So then I was driving home from work. It was like around 5 o'clock my time, 5:30, whatever. And Aidan calls me and he goes, Natalie, you were right.
What?
And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, Hollywood called me. And he goes, I'm going to sign with them. And I said, but this is the first offer. Why would you like wait for some more offers? I said, this is just the beginning. You're going to get so many offers. And he goes, well, as a thank you,
so first of all, oh God, this was in like June. I got contacted by a company in Los Angeles and about doing a documentary, and they seemed really good. I ended up going with another set of producers, but they seemed good. And they were interested in doing a documentary in the Kearney case. And I made the mistake of telling Natalie about this because she immediately, because she lives in California and she's like, I know somebody that won 5 Emmys or whatever. And I'm going to she within like 2 hours, she had met with this guy. Somehow she had found this guy and like she was going to go to his studio and she made herself like the lead, like my representative. Like you got to listen to this shit.
Want to sign with the first person because I think that's really nice. I said, Aidan, that's like sleeping with someone on the first date.
What?
You don't do that.
Well,
like,
you do sometimes.
Just slow your roll. And so I called Karen and Karen was like, oh gosh, Nat, did you hear about Aidan in the documentary? You know, this really makes me nervous.
What?
You know, I haven't even gone to trial yet. I haven't even been exonerated. Why is he thinking
This
about
never
a documentary? And I said, I know. I told him that I think he needs to slow his roll and just wait till things play out. You know, like with Scott Peterson, there isn't just one Scott Peterson documentary.
What?
There's like 8 of them.
Oh.
And there's from different viewpoints, from the Rocha family, from his sister-in-law, you know, from just the general media.
Oh my God.
So
why is she still talking?
Karen sounded really nervous. And she was like, you know what, Natalie, I had a really bad day. I need to unplug. Let's talk about this tomorrow. But in the back of my mind, I could tell she was really worried. So I called Aidan. I said, Aidan, do me a favor. Send me a screenshot of the email. I just want to make sure it's not some like D-list or C-list producer or documentary person. So he sent me the screenshot of the email.
God.
And what I did is I cropped it just down to the signature.
Ready?
And I sent it to my client who's won like 6 to 8 Emmys.
Wait a minute. I thought it was 5. The amount of Emmys that her friend had won, like this changes every time she tells a story. 6 to 8 Emmys. Like she always has to throw that in there. Like what is going on? They flew to California to this. Just look at Tully's answers. Like, the whole time. I mean, this is a punishment worthy of Brian Tully was having to sit through this interview with this woman, paid for by the taxpayers, nonetheless, but it's still punishment.
Because she's a director, she's a pilot director. And I texted it to her and I said, hey, do you know these people? And like an hour later, she texts me back and she's like, oh my God, how the universe works. 2 of my favorite people, Natalie and Brian, 2 of my favorite people, naturally, collide.
What?
Oh, I won 2 Emmys with him on these shows, blah, 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 blah. They're the best people. They're the nicest people. They're great to work with. So I called Aidan. I said, Aidan, you're in luck. These people are actually legit and they're actually really nice.
This is a murder investigation.
So then I text Karen.
Well,
but
this
you
is a
know,
murder
like when you text after every
Oh my
sentence, you hit return. And
That's what
so I
she's still
like
talking.
texted Karen like, hey, all is good. All is good. These people are legit. I sent it to my client.
Listen to what she says here about me. I'm a struggling blogger.
You guys have nothing to worry about. So then the next morning I wake up to like a scathing text from Karen saying that I inserted myself into the documentary and something along the lines of that my only interest was to be in a documentary, which is not true. I had no interest. And I really did this for Aidan because I kind of felt bad for him because I felt like he was a struggling blogger. He has 2 kids. He lives, so to, for lack of a better saying, paycheck to paycheck. And I thought,
what?
Anyway,
wait.
So I.
She's basically like, fuck you, Natalie.
So that's why I vetted that.
Basically, like, oh, he's poor. I felt bad for Aidan. It's like that. I needed Natalie to come along and save me. I was really struggling there until Natalie came along. She's going to save my career. What? I mean, talk about grandeur. Like, what are we doing? This is a murder investigation. And Brian Tully has flown all the way to California to meet with this woman and listen to her talk about documentaries and how many Emmys her friend won. And at no point is he like, can we get to the good? Like, what are we here for?
Karen took it the wrong way. And then after that, Karen never called me, didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to hear my side of the story. So I said to Aidan.
So this was like, okay. So this was so Natalie decided to become best friends with this producer. Like all of a sudden, like was like, I'm going to take charge of this. And Karen was like, that was it. Karen was like, I'm done with Natalie. Like, as you can imagine, Natalie fucking texts a million times a day and doesn't shut up and doesn't give Karen any space. So Karen's like, okay, Natalie, we need a break. She sends her a text message that I thought was respectful. And it's like, you got to give me space, Natalie. And of course, instead of being like, I understand that you're under a lot of pressure, you're being, framed for murder and I'm trying to help you out here. Oh no. That's when she messaged me and it was like, Turtle, you need to do something about this. You got to get involved.
I told Aidan, I said, Karen just like lost her shit. Like what, like I get she's under a lot of pressure, but come on, over that. So in the meantime, my client gives the producer my name and he texts me and he said, I would love to meet with you. Can you come to Sony Studios and meet me? And I said, no, but you can come to my factory. So he came and met with me and he told me that this wasn't a documentary about Aidan. It was a documentary that they want to do about this popularity about armchair detectives. And he gave me the example about that young couple that traveled cross country in a trailer and taped it. And it ended up that the boyfriend strangled her. I heard it, Gabby
Petito.
Gabby Petito, yeah.
And that's right. And he said that it wasn't the FBI or the feds or the authorities that solved the case. It was the armchair detectives. So this guy, Brian, wanted to do a documentary on all
None
the
of this
armchair
is true,
detectives.
by the way.
But Aidan, being such an egomaniac, made it like, no, they want to do a documentary on me.
But I'm the armchair detective.
So then when the fellow was
Why
here,
is she still talking? Yes, she is.
He asked if I would be interested in being part of the documentary since I'm like the goose that laid the golden egg.
I'm
and
the
I said,
goose that laid the
I want
golden
no
egg.
part of a documentary. I don't want to be involved with like any kind of case, like no way. I said, but I do have a question. I said, how do we go about getting Aidan an agent, an entertainment agent, and an entertainment lawyer? And he giggled and he goes, Aidan told me he has an attorney. And I said, yeah, but that's probably just some like Massachusetts attorney that doesn't know entertainment, because you need an entertainment attorney here in Hollywood. I said, what about an agent? And he goes, Natalie, I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't know any agent that would take him on. And then he explained to me that the way these documentaries work is they get the rights to his blogs for 18 months, which means that he cannot then sign and do another documentary. He can't do 3 documentaries within 18 months. He would not get paid, but what it is it'll boost his popularity, and there'll be about 8 million viewers.
I can't even listen to this.
And it wasn't Netflix.
Okay. Just stop. It's just like she just keeps going on about the industry and all this shit. Okay. And I decided for my mental health, it would be best to leave the group. So I left the Free Karen Reed group and the Justice for John O'Keefe group. And I left that group. And then I went to Europe and went to Germany to visit my family, my eldest daughter. And we had jet lag major, and my 12-year-old daughter and I would be up until 3, 4 in the morning. And I got bored and I joined the group. And I noticed this fellow by the name of Nick Rocco. Back to June. I noticed. So Erica Davis, who is Karen Ahern, as we know, you know who that is, right? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, maybe I'll tell you later. She posted in the group, who is getting all the proceeds to the Karen Reed t-shirts? And she commented, when I commented this etiquette, remember this? Remember about the t-shirts? When I was like, let me see. Remember I did that rant about the t-shirts, and I'm like, the money goes to me, something like that. I don't know. So she goes, she posted in the groups, who's getting all the proceeds from the Karen Reed t-shirts? And I commented with, well, the etiquette would be that all the money goes to Karen. So Aidan does an impromptu video, and the impromptu video is dedicated to Sean of the Gulf at the beginning. No, it wasn't. It was all dedicated to you. She's trying to say like I was mad at Sean of the Gulf when I did that rant. No, I was mad at Natalie, because Natalie made a sly comment about how the money, the proceeds from the sale of my shirts in my store, my business, should go to Karen Reed. Remember I did a rant about that? And I'm like, we've raised plenty of money for Karen Reed. It's turtle time. Okay? And by the way, Karen Reed was cool with that. She's just like, you don't think Karen Reed's happy with the coverage that she's gotten as a result of this? No one else was talking about this before. I think I've done plenty for Karen Reed. Okay? Think she's going to be okay. Okay, the first half is the Gulf removed because he was a moderator in the group, and he removed somebody talking about the grand jury, and he called Karen and he called Aidan and he said, you guys can't ask about the grand jury. And Turtle, you can't do your blogs asking about information about the grand jury. This is highly confidential information. Sean of the Gulf never told me what I couldn't talk about. So Aidan did an impromptu live, and the first part was dedicated to Sean of the Gulf, saying where he said something along the lines of like, hey, make me something straight about the grand jury. Trust me, like the whole thing, trust me. And I want to talk about the t-shirts. And then he goes, before we get to the t-shirts, can we talk about the grand jury part? Okay. So it was being posted on the sites. I don't know because I wasn't on. Oh, great. So you have nothing to offer. But I guess somebody was like, oh, my friend is on the grand jury. And she said, we met every Thursday. Something like that is what I heard. But this is June of 2023. Okay. Oh my God. Talked about the grand jury, so I don't know the very specific stuff. And then look at this paragraph. And so Sean of the Gulf moved it. Turtle got really mad. Karen was mad, I guess. I don't know. I heard she was mad. So Aidan does this impromptu. So the first half, as I mentioned, was dedicated to Sean of the Gulf. And then the second half is dedicated to Erica Humphrey Davis, or Erica Davis Humphreys, who's actually Karen Ahern, and to me. And he says, now let's get something straight about the t-shirts. All 100% of the t-shirts go to me. This is my livelihood. This is how I get paid. And you fucking cunts is what he said. And I can send you the impromptu. I think I may even send it to you. So the first cunt was Karen. I did not say Karen was a cunt. And then I'm the snotty cunt who mentioned etiquette. And that etiquette would be, and he goes, the snotty cunt who blocked me because I blocked him a long time ago. And then I blocked Jennifer Albin because I know she's been a turtle rider for like 5 years. So this impromptu, I got scared because I thought they were going to pull photos of my kids and do like a YouTube thing about me and poke fun of my weight and whatever. I don't know. I didn't want to be one of his ratchets, but everyone was like, not every, I say everybody, I was like talking to a bunch of people. I was only talking to like 5 to 8 people if you include Karen and Aidan. So in the back of my mind, I was upset with Aidan. I thought, you know, how dare he? He could have called me and Natalie and said, Natalie, why don't you write that? Oh my God, she keeps going. She keeps going. Jet lag, and noticed Nick Rocco was doing a fundraiser, and I told Nick Rocco that he should put advertisements on the fundraiser thing instead of getting rid of Turtle Boy's logo and raising money for businesses that way. So I told him, I said, you know, the business isn't savvy. The way to do it is offer Turtle Boy logo placement at $1,000 per logo. But in the meantime, in the group, hit up CPAs, bakeries, barbershops, auto mechanics, and body places. So I was giving him like business advice, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. So he removed those 4 slides and he removed the logo. And then he posted, hey, anyone want to put their logos up? We're going to do them up for sale for $500. And I told Nick, like, why don't you undersell it? Like, you got to be aggressive in business, you know? And then you could have sold them. But anyway, within 2 or 4 hours, all logo placement was sold. And then she just keeps going. She just talks about what a brilliant business person she is. And just goes on and on and on. I can't even read all this. I might just do a stream tomorrow where I just continuously play this if you want to listen to the whole thing. But I just have to remind myself that they flew all the way there for this. Okay. That they flew all the way there for this. Okay. They just keep going on. When's the last time you talked to Karen? Might have been June 15th. And when was the last time you talked to Aidan? Well, he got mad at me when I had COVID, like September 18th, but I never spoke to him. But when I was in Germany, he posted that he's signing on with people with Netflix. I never said that once. That's not how any of this works. So I was genuinely out of everybody. I'm scared of him the most because I don't want him to smear my name and make me a ratchet. Even though I pay my bills, I don't have debt. I don't have kids in my 30s. I don't have kids before 30. That's ratchet? What? I'm married, you know, like there's nothing wrong. I have no criminal record. So there's nothing you can write about me. I'm not a drug addict. I don't use drugs. I don't abuse alcohol. You know, I live a very clean life. So I'm very scared of him. And sometimes I would message to him, like, for lack of a better words, kiss his ass. I don't know. So when I was in Germany, I wrote him something like Mazel Tov about Netflix. And I wrote something about it, like the Wahlberg brothers. And he said, I can't say. And like, what the fuck is she talking about? I'm going to pay you back. Okay. Oh, then she explains the Tinder swindler, the plot of that documentary. Oh my God. And then she's like, no, but it's actually going to be like the Tiger King. They're going to make you look goofy in it. Oh my God. She just keeps going on and on. And then Aidan ended up not going with Sony. So a lot of that's a lie. That lion that they said about that I have. So this is after I wrote this. I don't even know, but I have a $31,000 lien. That's not true. That's from 2011. My husband inherited a $3 million profit. What? Why does any of this have to do with the justice of John O'Keefe? What does any of this have to do with John O'Keefe? Like, they flew all the way to California with this. Going back to where this arrangement that Karen would send you things when you would send them to Aidan. I loved it. Like, she's talking about this documentary forever. And then finally Tully's like, yeah, can we talk about like this whole murder thing? To get her side of the story, because she felt like the mainstream media was making it that she was a cop killer. And she was like, I'm not a cop killer. A fight broke out in that house. And now they're trying to protect Collins, who's the neighborhood bully, who would always start crap with John and really drive fast in the neighborhood. Oh, okay. Thanks, Natalie. And John would tell him, don't speed there. And when they would leave town, I guess, I don't have rings, but I guess Ring, it senses when people would move. So they would be on vacation. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. So Aidan was confronting people in public, going to businesses. Did you ever talk to her about his conduct of the rolling rally? So I wasn't involved at that point. Why do we fly here? So the rolling rally, that stuff happened after. But she told me it made her but when we first started calling people on the shows, she did tell me that made her feel very uncomfortable. This is what Natalie says. So in other words, Karen Reed did not direct me to do anything. She's saying Karen Reed didn't like when I did stuff like that. I don't know if that's true. Doesn't matter. What it proves is that Karen Reed didn't direct or approve of anything that I did. Did you ever talk to Alan Jackson or David Yannetti? No, I've only emailed David Yannetti twice. I emailed him the Elizabeth Proctor thing. What was the purpose of the Paul O'Keefe conversation? I don't know. But she swears she was framed. And, you know, it happened so organically. How could I not believe her? Especially when she would break down and cry when all that rumor came up about the wood floor being in the basement. She felt so grossed out. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm a crybaby. I tell her, like, gosh, you're so strong. I'm fighting for my life. But I have to say, like, I do miss our friendship. I genuinely liked her. Yes, I have not seen her in 20 years. But we had so much fun reminiscing about college, and we would watch this Netflix show together, Tell Me Lies, about freshman year in college at Bentley College. And we would watch an episode, then we would recap it and like be like, oh my God, can't wait for the next episode to come on. Stuff like that. So it wasn't just about her case. And, you know, it was a friendship there. Like, this is like Kalinga, like, we were best friends. We are best friends. And I'm really sad we can't be friends anymore. And then she goes this. How about this one? That's what hurt me when she didn't give me a chance to explain my innocent inquiry about the documentary. Another thing is, in the beginning, I told her that when you Google this is before Aidan, when you Google Karen Reed, nothing comes up. And I told her, you need to tell the news outlets when they post their articles, you can choose like 10 hashtags. It might be more, but you can choose 10 hashtags. Tell them to use Karen Reed as a hashtag so that when we Google your name, it comes up. Another thing I noticed is that, oh my God. Like, she's supposed to call up, yeah, Boston Globe, I want you to put my hashtag out there so that people will read about this murder investigation that I'm being framed for. Like, that's not how SEO works. Oh my gosh. Nelson, so she goes on, and he goes, Nelson, do you have any questions? Yeah, did Aidan ever, obviously you gained his trust, did he ever have you email anybody? No. Like email, just any documents, somebody on his behalf? Oh, like, so we would get emails from people saying somebody has a rumor, and can you send this to Karen and tell me if this is true? Okay. And then Karen would say, this is not true. Like that Brian Albert video with the foot. And Karen said unequivocally, or however you say it in English, that's not Brian Albert. He always wears a skull cap. Okay. And then she talks about Ashley Bell. It's just like, oh my God. This just keeps going. Jamba Juice. I got a Jamba Juice and I sat in my car and I read everything. Oh my God. I can't even read. I got to get to the end. The end about the babies with AIDS. Oh, how about this one? I remember standing in the middle of the factory and I call the Omni Seaports and I figure out or whatever. And I called both of them. So remember they said that I met Karen's attorneys for lunch at the seaport. This is what Natalie says about that. So Aidan really wanted to sit in the court, which I can just sit there myself. I don't need Natalie to do it. Aidan really wanted to be in the courthouse. And this was another time Karen snapped at me. And I told her, I said, Aidan wants to sit in the car, wants to sit in the courthouse. And she's like, yeah, no, I can't be bothered with this. You know, I have bigger fish to fry. I have the attorneys here all week, like, leave me alone about this. And I said, Karen, he's done so much for you. Like, get him the proper seating in the courthouse. Like, we owe it to him. You owe this to him. And she goes, fine. Have him call John Silvera and he can go in with John Silvera. And that was another thing I used against Aidan was I said, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't have gone into the courthouse. I couldn't have gotten a public courthouse without Natalie in California. I mean, okay. So then Karen told me after the May 3rd hearing that they were all going to convene at the Omni Seaport and to tell Aidan. So I told Aidan, and Aidan's like, I feel out of place. I don't feel right. I don't fit in. What? I'm like, I didn't get invited. So why I'm not going to go to this Omni Seaport if I'm not invited. And then Natalie talks me into it. And I told Aidan's like, I feel out of place. I don't fit in. I didn't say I don't fit in. And I said, Aidan, play your cards right. Alan Jackson's going to be there. Like, this is how you move up in life. You schmooze with the right people. You socialize with the right people. And that's how you climb the ladder, because he was on his way home and he didn't want to go. He was too shy. And I said, Aidan, pull over. And so he's like, there's two Omni Seaports. I don't know which one. So I remember standing in the middle of the factory. I call the Omni Seaports and I figure out whatever. I called both of them. I asked if there was a party under Jackson, Reed, or Yannetti. None of them could tell me. There was no party. I ended up going to the Omni Seaport Hotel in South Boston. And I walked into the lobby and I went to the bar and I saw Karen Reed and Alan Jackson standing there drinking cocktails at the bar. And then Alan was eating food because he had to catch a flight out. And a couple of her friends were there. The Silveras, nice people. And then Alan got out of there and Liza got out of there because they had a flight to catch. And I just sat there and I talked to the Silveras and Karen. And then they went out to dinner and I went home to watch the Celtics beat the Sixers. But she goes, I had a great time. Okay, I'm on my way. And then he thanked me and he's like, thank you so much for pushing me. Natalie is so important to the story. I had a great time. And you and Jackson is like such a cool guy. And Karen's parents, who weren't there, are so cool. And Karen is just like the nicest down to earth person. I was like, you see, you just have to have a bit of confidence, you know? The only thing he didn't listen to me is I told him, I said, when you get to court, you can't go like a cartoon character with a turtle tie and a lime green shirt. Like maybe go in neutral colors and, you know, maybe put some moisturizer on, but he didn't listen to me. He went on that court hearing and he went with the whole get up, the sign, the tie and the lime green shirt and black jacket. That's pretty much it. And she's like, she's an expert. Anything else? Did you ever donate to Karen Reed? I did. I donated $1,000 to Karen Reed. I donated $1,000 to Karen. Okay. And then I donated another $50 to Karen and I donated $300 to Aidan. Okay. Like, who cares if she donated? I know I should have donated to like babies with AIDS. She should have donated to babies with AIDS. Okay. Is that a charity? I feel duped. Like I'm embarrassed. It's an egg on my face. As you guys know, my parents and my husband have been very against my involvement since day one, especially my husband. When they saw that I donated money to our defense fund, the shit really hit the fan. But you know, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. And that is the only thing I can do is move forward and learn from it. And I can't beat myself up about it. And I can't be scared. Anything else? Nope. That's it. Okay. That's it. They flew all the way to California on the taxpayers' dimes to have that conversation. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Let me read a couple turtle chats here. And then anybody has any questions, we can answer them and call it a night. Okay. Turtle chat. All right. Bang through some of these. Thank you. $15 from Kim. Have you noticed every time we see Lally, he looks worse and worse? The lying and corruption is eating at him. Good. P.S. Blue is your color. Oh, thank you very much, Kim. That's very nice of you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know Lally smoked till yesterday. That was wild. I roll up there. Adam Lally's there. Llama donates $25 and says, I live in a very expensive place, but I can't afford the rent that you occupy in Krusty Panty's head. Here's a small deposit, though. Yeah, I hope that I don't know. It's just like, just go away. Want nothing to do with this individual at all. Just go away. I don't want anything to do with this person. Kathleen sends $10 says, does it bother you to see Jen smiling? Of course it does. But it makes me think she knows nothing's going to happen. No, she was smiling yesterday. First of all, it's a fake smile, but she was smiling yesterday, not because she knows nothing's going to happen, because it was about me, because she brought her new human shield with her new toy. You know? So thank you very much, Kathleen. Jenna sends $10. The confidence that the McAlberts display is terrifying. Hope they're all held accountable. Love you, Turtle Boy, and so happy you're home. You were missed by many. Thank you, Jenna. I appreciate that. Queen Bee sends $10. Says, I know you and Karen Reed are factually innocent, and Krusty Panties is a big joke. Very true. Kerry sends $25 and says, welcome back, TB. I just want to let you know you're an inspiration to young and old. My 14-year-old son, Aidan, has been following along with this story with me. You have a supporter for life in him, and have to be an amazing role model for how to deal with bullies. Thank you very much. $25 from Alicia says, please reach out to me with your cell. This girl is the most demonic girl I've ever encountered. I went through the same thing you did. I can't say names. She threatens me with phony violations on a phony order. She got me on the show. I showed proof of her lying twice to a judge, and she played the role to perfection. Okay. Well, I know the feeling. Random sends $50. No comment, but thank you, Random. I appreciate that. $25 from Hannah says, can we get a top 10 moments you have reported thus far in the case? Like an article on it? I don't know. I have to go back. I have to chronicle the top 10. I have to think about it. Maybe. Pete and Carolyn sent $50 and has been traveling since Thursday. So we missed the weekend activities. Rented a Ford Edge in your honor while away. Oh, it's a nice ride. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you very much. A-Rod sends $25 and says, paycheck to paycheck, but Mello said you made $5 million in court. I know. Glad to have you back. You're hysterical. By the way, your skin looks great. Yeah, I don't need any moisturizer. Thank you very much, A-Rod. Be nice, Natalie. Be nice. Okay. And then a couple cash apps here. Sandra sends $5. No comment. Thank you, Sandra. Nicole sends 10 and says, welcome home. You're crushing it. Thank you, Nicole. 7-pounder sends $10 and says, please play Krusty Pants voicemail. I mean, that's just a disturbing voicemail. That's just, I gave that to the police today. She, of course, is facing witness intimidation charges in Leominster District Court. So not sure how wise that email was to send, but that voicemail was to send. $10 from Carrie McCollum says, Turtle Boy supported my niece's fundraiser many years ago. All right. Thank you. In regards to the CDKL5 Google, how rare that is. Oh, thank you. Mark sends $25 and says, shout out to that person who had to transcribe that. Seriously. And another turtle chat from Samantha sends $25 and said, did she say she was giving her 12-year-old a bath? Did it say 12-year-old? I know she has a 12-year-old, like a 5-year-old. I hope it was the 5-year-old. That whole interview was absolutely cringe. She just loved that attention. Those detectives are captive for GID for God knows how long. That's karma. And it's just offensive that they flew all the way there to listen to that woman talk. And she had nothing to offer them. Absolutely nothing of interest to offer them. She just wanted someone to talk to. And you understand reading that why Karen Reed didn't want to be friends with her anymore. Because who would want to listen to that? Oh, okay. Anyone else have any questions? I loved how Natalie talks about how John would yell at Colin and not speed. It's like basically just verifying everything. I know. What? This makes Turtle Boy look so bad? Huh? I don't even get what you're saying. Any updates on Higgins? Nope. He's living at the Cape, hiding out. Are you still communicating with Karen? No comment. Anyone else have any questions? Does Higgins work still? I don't, it's a good question. I don't know. Let's see. All right, cool. When are you getting the pup? Probably, I told her next week's, I just need to settle in first, you know? It's taken some time, but we will soon. I'm going to get the pup soon. Got another turtle chat here from Kate Maselli, sends $10 and says, any luck with that Ford Edge yet? Not to my knowledge. All right, let's see. What's this video of? I got the body cam footage of them coming to my house and shit. Oh, they're such fucking assholes coming in, arresting me. I might show that someday. We'll see. Just in case you didn't think this happened. It's like, what the fuck? They took the coffee mug right out of my hand. And I'm like, what is going on here? And they put me, I'm like, and then Brian Tully comes over, reads me my rights. And I'm like, dude, stop. Okay. I don't know. Should I show those? I don't know if I want to show those. Does LC know the Karen Reed story from being in the chair? It's impossible to miss. It's impossible to miss. Yeah, I got to get the booking video. People also said I cried in the back of the cruiser. I'll show you. I'll show you this. Wendy Murphy said I had like a panic attack and cried. So this is me going to Stoughton District Court from Holden. It's an hour and 10-minute video. I'm just sitting there. Boom.
What town?
From the city area. Okay. We start talking. Yeah. Looking around. Yeah. I'm just thinking about all the money I'm going to make off of this. It's going to be dope. Yeah. So scared. Yeah. Bored. Yeah. Okay. It's uncomfortable as fuck sitting there for this long in the back of a cruiser like this. Look at this. I'm smiling. I'm like, oh, cash money. Look at this. I'm just like, yeah, this is going to be fun. Wendy Murphy said I had a panic attack in the back of the car. I must have missed that. Where's the panic attack? I was just uncomfortable. Oh, yeah. What did I say? I think I say.
I said, I hope they let me piss as soon as I get in. I broke the seal, so.
I hope they let me piss. I got witness intimidation. Are you fucking kidding me? That's all I said. I guess I'm having a panic attack, though. I go, bring it on. Witness intimidation. Bring it on. That's what I said. Let's go.
What'd you say? They're good. The media's here.
Oh, yeah, this is when we roll up.
Or maybe not.
So we arrive at the court. Oh, yeah, get the hat out, get the fancy hat. There it is, yeah. Ted Daniels did request this footage. It's really not that interesting. I just laugh at that. I'm like, what? Witness intimidation? Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Where's that footage? I hope they find that footage. Okay. So there's that one. And then you got another video of me getting out, of like actually going into the courtroom. What's this? Or going into the, this is me arriving at the court. So he gets out, and there's already a crowd there.
Right here. Which one?
Oh, here we go. Let's go get him. Let's go get the criminal. I hope they find that Ford Edge. Did you guys find out who's driving that Ford Edge yet?
This is what they're wasting their time on. What do you have to say? I hope they find that Ford Edge that was parked outside 34 Fairview Road at 3 a.m. Hope they find who's driving that.
Go to hell, Aidan Kearney. That's that super slot, Michelle Gallery. Then I go in there and they take me in my cell. Oh, there we go. Yeah, up against the wall.
You know what? We're good from here. We're just transport.
Look at this other
Sure,
person.
we got his personal belongings.
This guy
and,
who didn't shut the fuck up.
You'll be upstairs. Excellent. Yes, that's that. So, what do you need? Just step over here with the weapon. Yeah. What's that? No, we don't have it. It's upstairs, so bring it in. We're just transport. So, after they're done, we'll leave. Yeah, we'll be upstairs. You have the personal belongings right here. Who's got them? I put them right there. Yeah, we can leave after he's open.
Can I just ask you that
Okay. Yeah. All right, so that's basically the end of it. Okay. All right. Anyone have any questions? Anything else? Yeah. Yeah, then it was a good choice of a sweatshirt that day. Thank you, Jody. You know, it is ridiculous. I mean, wait till you see them when they actually arrest me. I'm not going to show that one because it's like they fucking show. They show them going all through my house. They photograph my kids' rooms and shit. It's fucking creepy. Creepy. So they didn't turn off their body cams when they came in the house. They tape it all. It's like Tully in my living room. Yeah, I pissed as soon as I got in there. I had to go bad. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. TV is gangsta. You know, it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? I still can't believe I've been charged with this. It's like, is this a joke? I cannot wait for these charges to go away, man, because they're going to go away. Because the people that did this to John O'Keefe and to Karen Reed are going to they're going to go down for it. And the same people I've been exposing are the ones who arrested me and charged me. So I didn't say Proctor got suspended. Somebody said that. What does Mello have for a sickness? I don't know, but he's like gone. So thank you, Sarah. You know, it's I wish I could say it sometimes. It's not easy, man. It does a number in you, you know? Mentally, it's like, whew, I got some powerful people coming after me, you know? Still flat, the white female Tupac. Resting bitch face, exactly. Thank you, guys. It's glad to be home. Yeah, I'll be on the bus stop pickup tomorrow for sure. I noticed that the first one person to file restraining order always is the one that the judge granted. Yeah, usually. Yeah, how come they don't have body cams at 34 Fairview Road, but they have plenty of them for my arrest and transport? Thank you, Gregor. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, it's tough, man. It's tough. You know, because you're just constantly worried about what these people are trying to do to you. You know, they want to put you back in jail. It's like they're not satisfied with that. They're animals. They're animals. Like they don't care about like the fact that there's two little kids that need their father. Like that just doesn't bother them at all. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But that is true. We do have a lot of honest people on our side, you know. Now, a couple more turtle chats. Laura sends $10 and says, so glad you're back. We missed you. Happy birthday to my amazing son, Isaiah, tomorrow. Happy birthday, Isaiah. And Nat sends $25, says, what is the 2E Pros report the Commonwealth is asking for? Do you know? You think next date it will be over? I hope so. I hope so. But we'll see. We'll see. Good question. Do we have any more turtle chats? I don't think I missed any. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's about it. Good show. I appreciate you guys coming out here and supporting me. Like I said, you know, I can't wait for this to be over, man. This whole thing gives me a shitload of anxiety. It gives me, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's nerve wracking, man. I can't imagine how Karen Reed feels. And you know, I need to find, like, I'm just so busy. It's just overwhelming being back right now, dude. Like trying to get your life together. And I need, like, I don't know. It's like, I need to speak to a therapist. There's just a lot of shit I need to do. Meet with my accountant tomorrow, like, because I pay my taxes. So I need to get that done. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I love you guys, you know. I love you guys. And it feels nice to be supported. It does. But, anyway, guys, we will see you guys later. And we'll see you guys Thursday night for Turtle Club. And then we'll see everybody else on Saturday night for the live show. All right. Peace, Turtle Riders.